Yes, guys, we are back. It's the post-match show I've been waiting for. Obviously, I didn't do it last night, but I'll do it now. It's the post-match show, guys. It's the review of the FA Cup final from yesterday. Liverpool winning their 8th FA Cup. And this is going to be the post-match calling show. I'm going to put the link in 1 second. I hope everyone's doing really, really well and having an amazing weekend. This weekend has turned out pretty good for Liverpool so far. We have just seen Man City drop points. Manchester City just dropped points to West Ham. Could the miracle still happen? Liverpool went and won their FA Cup yesterday against a very good Chelsea team. Took us all the way to penalties. Exactly the same as the League Cup final. But Liverpool have done the domestic double over Chelsea this season. 2 trophies in the bag. Is there still 2 more to go for? Is the quad still a massive possibility? How much say will Stevie G and his Villa men have on the final day of the season? And Liverpool, obviously, 2 weeks from yesterday, have got the Champions League final in Paris against Real Madrid. If you're not happy being a Liverpool supporter right now, you're never going to be happy being a Liverpool supporter. This is the greatest ever time to be a Red. 2022 could be the greatest year in the history of Liverpool Football Club. And it's an amazing, amazing season. We're going to get the link on in a minute, get you guys in on here as well. And, man, I can't wait. A lot to talk about, guys. A lot to talk about. So we're going to go back. When I get the link on, get you guys in. We're going to talk about the FA Cup final yesterday, of course. Loads to talk about yesterday. We're going to look back at that and the League Cup. We're going to look ahead as well to the Champions League final. And then talk about the league as well. Like, City dropping points today. Could have been, I mean, they could have actually lost the game, so they did well to come back in that second half. Mahrez missing a penalty. How big could that penalty miss from Mahrez be? So lots to talk about, guys. In the meantime, don't forget, hit the subscribe button, guys. If you've not subscribed to the channel, I am on my way to 1K, guys. On the way to 1K. I think I'm about 948 subscribers right now. So I'm not too far out from the 1K dream that you guys are making absolutely possible. So big up to everyone in the chat, everyone who subscribed to the channel. And don't forget to leave a like on this video. Likes are really important. There is a rumour that YouTube have updated their software, had a software update, and YouTube's updates have apparently started to push people's videos out. The algorithm has changed a little bit, and more people are starting to see people's videos now. So if that is the case, make sure you hit the like button, because that does help the algorithm. More likes, the better people will see this show. Get some of your comments before I get everyone on. I'm going to put the link up in 1 second. Gary in the house, hi all. Ali in the house, title race is still on. CVG, favourite incoming. Watkins, continue! All right, Jamie in chat. Pablo in the house. We're doing good, Pablo. Sup, Edward? How are you, my friend? Klopp is having a word with Stevie G, Thiago, Bobby are having a word with Coutinho. Big up. Andrew in the house. How are you, Andrew? Big up, Jamie. I love your content. It's been a fantastic weekend. Bring it on. You'll never walk home. Big up, Andrew. Big up, Andrew. New in the house as well. Big up, Andrew. Everyone say hello to Andrew. Welcome him to the community, guys. Welcome him to the community. Martin's in the house. FA Cup winners. Big up, Martin. Ali, the Wolves game has finished. Liverpool won over Man City. Watkins with the ball. Passes it to Coutinho. Can you imagine? Come on, the Reds. What a night at Wembley, Jay. Oh, and Mount is a mug. Big up, Gary. They should have lost, to be honest. West Ham's own goal cost them the win. Big up. Gary, my man. James, today we have been linked with Jude's younger brother, Job. Bellingham, Jude is coming with him in 2023. Big up, Ali. Pushing that transfer to happen. So I'm going to put the link in the chat for people to come and call in, guys. So 1 second. Hold on 1 second. So I'm going to put the link in. So the link is in the chat, guys. When you come in and want to call in, all I ask you guys to do is, be courteous, be polite, don't be silly, and and you can have your say on the channel, guys. It's an open forum. Come on and have your say, but just mind the rules, guys. Mind the rules. Rod's in the house. Everton are losing 3-2 against Brentford. I thought it was just 2-2 minute. Everton are losing. Wow. Final day of the season, relegation scrap between Burnley and Everton, maybe. It's all going off, guys. It's all going off. It's an amazing weekend of Premier League football, FA Cup football. It's been a great weekend. It's been a great weekend to be a Liverpool fan, that is for sure. Liverpool winning their 8th FA Cup yesterday. Tremendous, absolutely tremendous. Now we've had 24 hours to just let it all sink in. It feels even better. And Man City also dropping points to West Ham. A game I predicted of ending a draw. A game I predicted that ending a draw. And I've got a weird thing that I'm going to say right now. I actually prefer that this game ended in a draw and not West Ham winning, which is going to sound weird, and I'll get to that later. That's going to sound weird, but once I explain myself, it will make a bit more sense, I think. Everton are losing. Kevin in the house. Matthew the Hammer. Everyone give Matthew a thumbs up in the chat. He's a big West Ham fan. Everyone give Matthew, either if you can find the West Ham emoji or the thumbs up, give him that in the chat, guys. Big love. We've got Edward waiting in the back. I'll get you on in a second, Edward, my man. Klopp has completed the set. Jamie certainly has. Bye-bye, Everton. I'm going to just quickly look at Edward. I'll get you in 1 second, my man. Just give me 1 second. I'm just going to look at the Premier League table right now, guys. I'm just going to have a look at the Premier League table. Give me 1 second. I'm going to see what that does. So Burnley are on 18. Burnley are 18th in 34 points. Leeds are on 35 points, and Everton are on 36 points. Wow! But Burnley and Everton both have a game in hand, I do believe. So it's not. It's going to go to the last game of the season. It's going to go to the last day of the season. Let's get Edward in. I'll read the rest of the chat. Edward, my man. Are you sobered up, Edward?
Yeah, just about recovered.
You're good, man. I'm glad you're good. I'm glad you're good. There you go. Look at that. Thumbs up, hammer emoji in the chat. How you doing? We're big. We're good, Matt. We're good. Your team did well today as well. Look at that. Thumbs up for the Matthew. Thanks, guys. Look at that. Love for Matthew the Hammer in the house. Edward, my man. So, how are you?
Yeah, good. Now we're what day yesterday after that win over Chelsea. Brilliant.
Oh yes, beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah, it was. Now we can do onto the quad. Let's do it. It's on.
Quad, baby. Quad is on. Like Ali says here, Jamie, your friend said that West Ham will get draws. We'll see. What was his name? I can't remember. I think it might have been Grant. And talking about this, I had a weird dream the other night. I was on Jack Mack's show yesterday with Luke last night after the game, and I was saying like yesterday, I had a weird dream where City drew against City drew against West Ham and Aston Villa in their last two games. Liverpool won their 2 games and won the league by 1 point. So that could still happen. That could
we need to take care of Southampton Tuesday first before.
Yeah, the Southampton game's massive. It might change the way Klopp thinks about that game.
I know that's the thing. I would still try and rotate a few players for that game. Play Gomez at the back maybe. But we'll see.
Even the players we bring in, we should beat Southampton. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Andrew says if it all goes to plan, the final game of the season could be legendary. Certainly could. Talk about legendary. There he is. Look at the man. Look at him. Look at that beautiful face. Rods is in the house. Rods, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up? Yeah,
there you go.
Loud and clear.
There he is. How you doing, my man?
I'm good. Yourself?
Doing good, mate. Doing good. Super weekend.
Yeah.
It's going all to plan so far. The Greek Scouser loving that.
Greek Scouser. Oh, yeah.
He's trademarked it today as well, hasn't he? He's trademarked it today. Greek Scouser's name.
What penalty?
Up the fucking
race. Man.
Yes. It's absolutely a blinding wet. Right, I'm going to talk about this little thing. I just said it before I got you guys on about Manchester City. I said, some people might not get this, but I actually preferred Man City drawing this game instead of losing this game. And the reason I said that is because if they won this game, we beat Southampton Tuesday, we obviously go level on points. But then for us to beat Man City to win the league, we have to score so many goals against Southampton and Wolves. And when you're chasing goals for goals' sake, that's when mistakes can happen.
That's very true.
So with City drawing this game, Liverpool can afford to win 2 games 1-0 and still win the league title. Do you see what I mean? So it's a weird one. It's a weird one. So I'm actually happy that they drew the game because City have got to win on the final day no matter what. You know, City have to win their last game of the season, so it wouldn't have mattered what the win or draw for Man City today. But for us, if City won, if West Ham won that game 2-0, we're still 5 goals behind. So that means we'd actually get a 5-0 win against Southampton, and then no matter how many goals against Wolves with City if they win their game. So yeah, I actually prefer the point. It sort of sounds stupid, but makes sense at the same sort of time. I don't know what you guys think about that.
It does because I think when you look at it, all right, let's say that they West Ham won today, 2-0, yeah, and we go out and then we got to beat Southampton by 5 goals. Excuse me, by 5 goals, yeah. That's depending on Man City not scoring more goals in their obviously remaining matches, you know what I mean? So then it kind of puts it up a bit, you know what I mean? At least in this way, and I think that, right, if Man City drop points again, which they could rightly do, they could drop points, and we keep on winning, we go ahead and think that and take the lead, you know what I mean? The league. And I think at the end of the day, right, it will just be something like what Liverpool can do, you know? It would just be something that Liverpool could do. They could actually do that. Do you know what I mean? Like at the last minute, and they think that, right? Man City drop points and everything, and we go ahead and then probably do the quadruple. It's just typical Liverpool that would do that. Do you know what I mean? Typical Liverpool.
Well, this is the ideal scenario here because Everton currently losing and Villa got Burnley on Thursday. So Gerrard, rest all your players against Burnley. Let Burnley get the 3 points. Rest all your players from Man City at the weekend. Get a point against City, and we can win the league, and Everton can go down.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be amazing, wouldn't it? That's what we want. That is what we want. No, this is getting rid. Like Ali said, Stevie G wants the big Man City. He will say, "I don't want to in the media," but he's telling the players go and beat him in the league. Look, City. Look, with Stevie, I know we're all up this because Stevie's the Villa manager and he's a Liverpool legend and everything. But at the end of the day, Stevie is the manager of Aston Villa, and he's got to think about Aston Villa first. There's no doubt about that. But in the back of his head somewhere, in that bit of space there, and in his heart, he knows in reality, if he does the job, Liverpool do theirs. He's going to help Liverpool win the league title, and then he will put to rest all that slippy G nonsense. And do you know what? It's 10 years ago now. This season is 10 years since the Aguero moment happened for Manchester City against Man United when they won it on goal difference. Can you imagine if it turns around in a 10 years cycle? We have our 10-year magical moment. It comes across and we have our magical moment. Can you imagine?
Don't.
And talk about City quickly before we get on to the FA Cup final. Talking about City second, I can't believe Kevin De Bruyne never took that penalty. I can't believe he never took that penalty because he was still on the pitch at the time.
He doesn't usually take penalties, does he?
Yeah, but it's Kevin De Bruyne. I mean, that man's on fire at the moment. He's on
absolutely. Yeah.
If you had to pick a Man City player to take your penalty, knowing that's the goal that wins you the game, who you go pick?
And the league, essentially.
You'll pick De Bruyne.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Mars ain't got good record, does he? Mars hasn't got good record with penalties.
No, he hasn't.
I don't think he scored, didn't he?
Yeah, he's 10 stats, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's missed 2 of his last 3 or 4 or something like that. And he bottled it again. You remember he bottled it at Anfield when it was 0-0 and he had the penalty in the last minute?
Yeah.
Or could that come back to bite him on the arse? It's a weird one that De Bruyne didn't take it, I've got to say. Even if Mahrez is the penalty taker, I'm having him taken, I'm telling you. If Villa players as hard as they did against us, City will be in for a game, exactly. of their lives. Bring on the faith, big up, Andrew. Air want Bitch Alisson playing the chat. Bitch Alisson. Jesus. Rival fans will be hiding if we do this. Oh yeah, we're never. Yeah, 93 and 20, 93 minutes and 20 seconds, as Ian says. Ian's a big Darlington fan. Big up the Darlington. Big up Ian as well. Yeah, 93 minutes. Can you imagine? Please don't steal our treble, says the Road to Red Devils. Oh God! And do you know another thing? We win the Premier League and go on to win the quadruple as well. We shut everyone up. Man United obviously won the treble, and City keep going on. We're the only team that's ever won the domestic treble, so we could actually shut everyone up in one whole go. Guys, remember RS the penalty spot? Yeah, that's still travelling now. They ain't found that ball yet.
Well, yeah. Now we're the only team to win both. Well, we're the only team now to win both domestic cups in the same season twice. Last one did it once. So
2001, wasn't it? 2001 with Gerard Houllier, and then now.
Right.
Yeah, we're a legendary club, guys.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
FA Cup final. Let's talk about it. Let's get stuck into this beautiful, beautiful silver trophy that we won for the 8th time, guys. FA Cup final. So, Edward, I'll start with you in one sec. But that FA Cup final, we started really well. We started on the front foot. You know, especially when there's been a lot of talk that Liverpool looked tired and lethargic and all that. I thought we started beautifully well. Probably could have been 2-0 up in 15 minutes if we took our chances. Chelsea started to get back into the game through the first half. Pulisic had an amazing chance. Let's face it, Pulisic should have scored. You know, when Mount pulled that ball back to him and he sort of sliced it, he goes wide. Should have scored. That was Chelsea's best chance in the whole game. Then it goes in half-time 0-0 and come out in the second half. And I don't know about you guys, but we looked really like we had an energy dump. You know, everything just sort of went out of our bodies and we couldn't even run or move anymore. And Chelsea had a couple of chances. I don't think Chelsea, even though we were shattered and on our arse, I don't think Chelsea never really carved us open or had amazing chances. Because we still had great chances ourselves in the second half where we should have scored. It's a very strange game. Both teams looked shattered. And now going into extra time, obviously, both teams, it looked like they were destined for penalties yet again. And yeah, we know what happened in the penalty shootout. A certain young Englishman bottled his one for Chelsea. No one will talk about that because his name's not Saka at Arsenal. But yeah, completely bottled his penalty. And the Greek scouser ended everything winning his one. But breaking down the game in that first half, Edward.
Yeah.
What did you like about our first half display?
Well, started off well, as you said. Had a couple of chances. I was actually midfield. I thought was pretty decent. Controlled bits of the game. Chelsea, as you said, has a spell, good 10-15 minute spell in period. Yeah, when before the game, I wanted actually, as I said to you earlier during the week, I wanted someone like Jones to start because I thought we needed that energy and running from midfield, and I like because I thought it would go to extra time. I wanted to have someone on the bench like Keita and who's a really good game manager. So having that in reserve, I'd have started Jones. But as it was, we started with the main three guys. And yeah, the first half, we had our chances. We should have scored. But then, as you said, Pulisic had his chance. We defended really well. Trent up against who was it? Pulisic and Trent was amazing. I thought in that play, absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And Henderson, I wanted to say something about Henderson.
Oh yeah, you went Henderson, right?
Yeah. For me, he's living proof that hard work and endeavour pays off. I really admire him, not because of his ability or skill level. We get these fans from other clubs, Arsenal fans, Spurs fans, United fans, Chelsea fans, all laughing at him, man. That's fun then, man. I admire Henderson as a player and a captain, as a person. but he strives to get the best of the ability he has. And since he's come here in 2011, he's shown that improvement and development does occur and can happen in a player. So in 2011, or 2012, when Dempsey transfer was about to happen, most of the fan base, me included, was saying, well, it's not a loss if Hendo goes. But he stuck at it, really worked at his game, improved his game, and 13, 14 and onwards, he was really a key figure for us. And it just goes to show, if a footballer is willing to sacrifice himself and work and work and work, then the sky is the limit. And I just really love Hendo as a player and a captain, and I'm proud that he's our captain.
Second that.
Big up yourself, Edward. You're right. I mean, that first half, Edward, you're right about Jordan Henderson. Jordan Henderson's different quality. The man's fantastic. I always keep saying it when Henderson doesn't play. You know, you see the difference. You see the difference what Henderson gives you when he doesn't play a game, and it's always not about technique. It's not always about technique. It's about hard work and heart. And you see Henderson. The thing with Henderson, whatever technique he has, he gives you 100% of that every single game.
Exactly.
And you know, you've got very good technical footballers out there who give you 20% of their technique, and then no heart, and Pogba. And you know, these sort of players, you know, just go, missing, that are better than Henderson as a footballer, but they don't produce it time and time again. Henderson produces at a world-class level. He's not a world-class footballer, but he works at a world-class level. That's the difference.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the difference. And he's just captain fantastic. You can definitely see the difference when he's not playing. Edward, you're so right about Jordan Henderson. He's a great captain, great leader, and a great player. And also in that first half, Chelsea couldn't outcut us in that first half. We were all over them in that first half. Yeah. Especially for the first 20, 25 minutes. Chelsea couldn't get near us. There was so much space in midfield. Chelsea looked actually really tired to start the game, which was a weird one. They looked quite tired to start the game. We were passing around them, moving the ball nicely. We had lots of freedom. Kovacic was obviously carrying an injury. You could tell through the game. He obviously came off, but he was definitely in pain. Jorginho can't really move. My nan can move quicker than him. She's not alive. You know what I mean? The man can't move. The man can't move. I saw Chelsea fans after the game saying Jorginho ran that midfield yesterday. I have no idea what they were watching. I have no idea what they were watching. But the man can't move, and Liverpool dominated that first 20-25 minutes. And but we should have scored, in my opinion. We should have been 1 or 2 up. Luis Diaz. I love Luis Diaz to bits, and he's tremendous, and he's going to be the best. And he's still kind of like a Porto player at the moment. Yeah. He's not quite involved, but this is his bedding in period. And just a few things he just needs to work on, especially in the summer for me. And that's just his final end product, his final finish. It's got better since January. His final ball in the box and stuff like that is superb, but just that final finish into the, that final effort goal. He had that one-on-one with Trent's disgusting pass. That pass to the outside of his right foot bit Chelsea up. My God, what a pass that was. What a pass. The thing is, I don't want to talk about it now. Diaz didn't finish it, so no one will ever talk about that assist. Oh, what a pass that was. But I was more than happy in the first half. It was the second half onwards where the game sort of went. The game went really boring in the second half as well as an entertainment factor. It went really downhill. But first half, I was more than happy with. Rog, your fault, man.
Yeah, man. It's like the first half, I think we had way too much energy for them. And enough energy. We were just all over them. People like Kovacic and Chalobah, they couldn't handle us. They just couldn't handle like the energy, the intensity, the pressing, and so forth. You know what I mean? Chelsea looked tired, but I didn't know why they looked tired.
Big up, Sir Faz. Big yourself up, my friend. Keep going.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know why they looked tired and everything because they haven't played as much games as we played. Do you know what I mean? No. So But
They
the first half,
they did in commentary, didn't they? They tried to make it out that Chelsea had played more games than Liverpool in commentary.
yeah. Oh, they'll always do that. They will always do that. Do you know what I mean? But like, but they come back into the game. But then we finished the half more stronger. In the second half, I thought that sort of like Chelsea was always going to come back into the game. Do you know what I mean? They was always going to have a period of dominance and everything that. And I think what it was with Liverpool is how we handle that dominance. Do you know what I mean? Can we keep them out? Can we keep them at bay and control them, and then just obviously pounce on them and everything? I think we did it well. Do you know what I mean? We couldn't go like gun ho for like 90 minutes in the front. There were periods of the game where we had to have like a rest and everything like that, and let them do the running about. But I thought on the whole we played good. Trent was sort of like was amazing. Was amazing today. My thing with Henderson when he came in 2011, and think that right, nobody rated him. Nobody rated him and think that right. And there was a time at the day that he was going to get sold and everything like that. But Henderson, at the end of the day, he literally at the end of the day sort of like stayed behind, did more training and did this and he did that to improve his game. Do you know what I mean? The man is a model leader. Do you know what I mean? And he got better. And you can't imagine sort of like your team without Henderson. He's savage, big up. So like he was good, but like we finished the game like strong. Do you know what I mean? I think it was a certain time it was destined to go towards penalties and everything like that, right? Do you know what I mean? I didn't think sort of like was it Mason Mount bottled it? I just think he got out-thinked. He just got out-thinked and everything like that. And Alisson knew where he was going and everything like that. And then the Greek scouser stepped up and said, look, you know what? This cup is come back to Anfield, boys. It's come back to Anfield and everything like that. And it rounded off, to me at the day, it rounded off a perfect day and a perfect weekend for sort of like for us as Reg fans. Good game. My man of the match has to be Trent. My man of the match has to be Trent Alexander. That's my man of the match.
Trent's disgusting. Savage, my man, how are you?
How are we, boys? Jamie, Edward, Rods, everyone good, yeah?
That's great. Yeah, good.
Yeah, man. I was gonna jump on just before, but I was finishing off the Everton match, so. But
they got 2 red cards. Someone said.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. They're in the mud, man. They're in the mud.
There you go. 2 red cards.
Was it 3-2?
3-2. Yeah.
Weren't they 2-1 up as well?
Yeah, they were 2-1 up at half time.
Oh, could happen to a better team. Savage Romance, how you feeling 24 hours on?
I feel good, man. I feel good. It's a mad feeling, isn't it? It's a mad, like, I feel like I've had so much of my life where the success of Liverpool's been like, there's been big gaps in between. But like, it's just getting closer and closer. It just feels like it all the time now. And it's taken some time to get used to. But I love it, man. I love this club, man. I'm so proud of the boys. Proud of the manager, all the staff, players that weren't even used. Yeah, man, it was emotional, man. I watched some of the backstage stuff yesterday, and when I watched the game back again, in just when the final whistle blew, and I watched people like Adrian, like celebrating like he played the game. Like just that's proper support, man. Like it doesn't matter what we think of him. Obviously, these are model professionals, and they all try their best. Some are more talented than others. I think with Adrian, it's more of a concentration thing than anything because he's a good shot stopper. It's just that he falls asleep sometimes, but that's not really a big deal. I watched him Taki in the changing room singing. He didn't even have his kit on. He was in a tracksuit. Didn't get a medal, and he helped get us there. I was there in the quarterfinals, Leicester. So to see all of these. I don't know, man. I love this club, man. I feel great, and yeah, man, it's one of those things, isn't it? I think I don't know if for all the fans who were talking down the FA Cup and trying to look past it and looking straight to the Champions League and stuff like that, and speaking of it like it wasn't a major trophy. I'm sorry, but when I was growing up, the trophy was massive. It was an all-day event. Yeah. I loved BBC yesterday because as soon as I saw they went back to like they went to Robbo's school when he was a kid, and I'm like, this is what I grew up on. This is what I grew up on. It used to be 11:30 FA Cup weekend, and all day they'd have all these events. They'd go and speak to some 92-year-old who was a Liverpool fan back in the day before the war, and then they'd speak to someone's PE teacher. He was a good lad. He never made the football team, but bro, I loved it. I loved everything about it. It gave the feeling back, and listening to Klopp and hearing how much he meant to him, it does put things in perspective as a fan, because a lot of people are starting to become a bit entitled because they've either jumped on the Liverpool bandwagon since Klopp's been there, which is a good time, but it just gets you used to glory straight away, or you're just not a proper football fan. I think football's changing a little bit, where a lot of the fan base is becoming like basketball fans, where they support players and not the football team. But when they asked Klopp about the quad, and he just wanted to speak about the FA Cup and spoke about how big it was, I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel about it. Don't get me wrong. Whatever happens going forward, of course, I'd be disappointed if we lost games going forward. But it's not going to take away from how I feel about the team. On the day, I'll probably be pissed off. Yeah. But when I take a look back at the season, I'll be proud of the boys. We're pushing Man City right to the end. We've mopped up 2 cups already. We've got 1 game to play against Real Madrid, not 2 legs, just 90 minutes of a football match. We're better than them. We respect them. We respect what they do. Everyone, I know, like, the football heritage thing's nice. It's fun to speak about, but like it's kind of not real. It like, history is a thing, innit? Like that's what it is. But it's kind of not real, innit? Like, Man City didn't lose to Real Madrid because of football heritage. They lost because they went to sleep for 2 minutes. Yeah. And that's kind of the crux of it. Same with Chelsea. They went to sleep for a bit and Real Madrid punished them. We won't do that. And I think if we can get the lead in that game, we'll go and take that trophy as well. But as for the FA Cup, I thought we were great, man. We were out on our legs at the end of the game. Felt proper old school. Felt like Chelsea had a bit more energy to them. And to be fair, that's because the players they brought on, they've got pace in it. They've got pace, so it was a bit like, I was surprised they didn't bring on Werner, because they probably could have won the game if they brought him on and played the ball in behind. But they seem to have a lot more energy, but that's because we were running ourselves into the ground. I mean, that performance, especially the first half, was pretty much identical, maybe better than the Man City first half performance. We just didn't put the chances away. But yeah, shout out Chelsea for putting up a fight in that. But that's 2 losses at Wembley for them against the same team, same manager. Tuchel must be fed up a Klopp by now. Yeah. Penalties again. Hey, man, it is what it is, man. # burn the bridge, bro. That's what you get. It's karma for all that money, bro. Like, it's gonna come back around, man. We were the first club. Just remember, we were the first club when they got that money that first season, and we played them. And I know because I was there at Stamford Bridge, and I was sat right next to the Chelsea fans. And I remember my dad was like, swap seats with me because, you know, they got a bit of history of doing some dodgy stuff and that. Yeah. And they all had like £20 notes, and they were doing this in our face and stuff, laughing. Mate, comes back around, bruv. This is what it is. 2 penalty shootouts, bruv. Terrible.
Chelsea have had 20 years in football history, let's face it.
Yeah, good for them, man. Good for them and their fans, bro. You know what I mean?
Under their Russian sugar daddy, but that's no more. They're coming back to our life now. I mean, they've just gone. They apparently go out by 72-year-old Ivan Perisic. I mean, it don't make sense. It's a weird signing. That don't make no sense at all.
Perisic is a baller, but he doesn't give him anything that they've already got. He's almost Ziyech is almost the identical footballer to Perisic. He's just younger.
Yeah. 33 is a weird signing.
Yeah.
33 coming to the Premier League for the first time in your life.
Yeah, we saw it when they remember Chelsea's known for that kind of, like, everyone gives them a blight because they, to be fair to them, in the last however long they have been the most successful team in the Prem in the last 20 years. But they've got loads of people people don't remember that, like, Crespo played for them, Deco played for them, all these ballers played for them and it failed, man. Pato played for them.
Yeah,
like they've had world-class ballers.
Shevchenko,
Kezman, Mutu, like all these guys played and failed at their club, man. So Balak, he was all right though for them. Yeah. Well, it's what they do. Etu played for them.
Yeah,
he played for Everton. He played for Everton, didn't he? Some scumbag in blue. I knew it was them anyway.
No, man, he played for Chelsea as well.
Yeah, we did, man. Because he scored against us and done the old man back celebration, innit? And then,
Sir Faz, who just subscribed to the channel as well, to big yourself up, fella.
Big up, Sir Faz, man.
Ask Man United fans if they would be happy just winning the FA Cup this season. Yeah, exactly. As Klopp says, it's the biggest and best domestic cup in world football.
It is.
Yeah.
Agreed. Ryan, they lost because of black magic and my voodoo dolls. Man's keep it going, Ryan. Keep it going. Make sure that Villa City jinx is on. Let's do it. Gary, here, Liverpool had the balls in the final. Guys, where does Hendo rank as in Liverpool? Right, I've gone on record and said he's Liverpool's best captain, and people had shot me down for this. I think I spoke to you guys about already, but for me, he's our best captain. Look, Stevie, you can't. The problem is when you say this, because Stevie had the captain's armband. I am not comparing a footballer to a footballer here. Stevie's in a world of his own. You know, that's why I keep saying Kevin De Bruyne is the nearest thing I've seen to Steven Gerrard in the Premier League. You know, they play exactly the same way, and I'm not comparing the players. I mean, Stevie could do it. Being a captain, he was a leader on the pitch, and he was a leader of how he played the game. More so, he was like, I just take care of it myself. I'm Superman for Liverpool, basically. Where Hendo's not like that. Hendo's leadership on the pitch, I think, goes so unnoticed. His leadership off the pitch as well. I mean, let's face it, he's in charge of all the captains in the Premier League. He always gets to he's the one who starts everything moving. What he did for everyone in COVID at the time with the NHS and all that, getting all the captains together, that was all Hendo. He arguably is that. I mean, we'll probably have to wait till he retires, and then we can all look at it. We can look at Hanson, Kennedy, Gerrard. I mean, it all goes back years.
Yeah.
We can have a proper debate about it then. But at this moment in time, I know
Definitely up there.
He's definitely up there in the top three. Definitely.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
I can't lie, man.
He's picked up 6 trophies. 6 trophies he's picked up. And that's the most a Liverpool captain has picked up. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, in such a period and that. Do you know what I mean? So
I think you're right.
The comparison between the comparison between Gerrard and Henderson, ability-wise, Gerrard is up there. Ability, you can't fuck with his ability. His ability is just up there, yeah. But like for accomplishments, Henderson's up there because Henderson, as a captain, he has accomplished more than what Gerrard has. You know what I mean? Now Henderson's got a chance of lifting the European trophy again. He's got a chance of lifting it again. He's got a chance of lifting the Premiership trophy again. Do you know what I mean? So accomplishments, you have to say that Henderson is up there, well up there. But ability-wise, Gerrard is up there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What I'll say is with that kind of question. I mean, I don't think I can answer it without being biased. I'll be deadly honest. I'm like Gerrard's God in my household, bro. So but
it is hard.
But Rod is right. Like, to be fair, ability kind of doesn't even come into it. Apart from unless you're a captain and you're terrible at football. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like average, then it kind of comes into it. But it depends. The reason why I think them things are hard is because of criteria, isn't it? Like, there's no set criteria in the world for what makes the best captain. Like, people kind of make it up as they go along, and people kind of add stuff on to get their guy to be the best. Realistically, I think a lot of people won't want to hand it over to Hendo just because Gerrard already didn't win the league, so it feels like you're taking one more thing away from his legacy of being the greatest ever captain. But if I'm honest, if it's statistically, which is more that what you'd use against other teams than within our club. So if you're arguing against Hendo being the greatest ever captain in the Premier League against other, then you'd probably use statistics, and with that, obviously he's killing it. And Gerrard himself, and if you listen to the players that played with Gerrard, Carragher's probably the closest friend to him. He kind of said that Gerrard is kind of like take the game by the scruff of the neck and lead by example instead of vocally. Whereas Henderson hasn't got as much ability as Gerrard, so he does lead by example with certain things like putting the first tackle in, roughing up the team. Anytime somebody tries it with one of our players, he's on it. He's on it more than Gerrard, to be fair, when it comes to that. Like, he's ready to punch man up for anyone on our team. He's on it. He's all the time.
It's true.
Yeah, in terms of speaking to people on the pitch, He's very vocal. I've seen him tell Virgil and Trent off the other day. He told somebody off yesterday as well. Really bad. I can't remember who it was. It was somebody in midfield, I think. I've seen him shouting at them. And
it might be Naby, you know.
It was Naby. It was Naby.
It might be.
Yeah, it was Naby. He lost his damn mind. Yeah, because I think he ran back, won the ball, turned around, shouted at him. And then you're probably right. You know what? All in all, I think if you put it as a collective, it probably would end up being Hendo just for the fact of the off-the-field stuff as well. Gerrard wasn't terrible at it, but he wasn't really about it. Like, there's certain things what happened in our club, what should have been nipped in the bud, and the captain probably should have came out and spoke or handled it. Like, all the racist stuff with Suarez, Hendo dealt with that years later. Like, he dealt with it like 2 years ago. And when I seen him, he went and met people with the whole Black Lives Matter thing, what happened last year. It was Hendo again. With the teams coming back and organising, coming back to football, it was Hendo who... I think Hendo's the one who put the call in with the rest of the Premier League captains. He was the man who got it going together. So, yeah, man. To be fair, it doesn't really matter because it's a beautiful thing to be able to have that discussion. But at the same time, Hendo's a great guy, man. He's a model professional. There's no off-the-field stuff with Hendo. This geezer's all football, man. And you see what it means to him, man. So, big up Hendo.
Means a lot to him. And there's one thing I was saying, I think that, right? Like, Hendo being good as what he is and everything that. When Hendo's not there and everything that, look, you got Millie, you got James Milner, and then that can take on the reins of that captaincy and everything that, and get people into line and stuff and everything like that. Do you know what I mean? There was one time with Hendo though. There's one time with Hendo. Something happened. I think it was that striker, the Brazilian striker who played for Chelsea. Can't remember his name now. Costa. Right. Costa trying to put it on him and everything that, Costa trying to put it. He turned around and he stared in his face.
Yeah, you don't care.
Right in his face. I thought, Decky, you don't want this. Costa, you don't want this. You do not want this. He looked, stared at him like saying, "What? Are you mad or something, blood? Are you mad? You're gonna try it?"
Hendo goes under the radar.
Hender's about that life.
Because would you guys agree? Yeah, would you guys agree that 2014, when we I mean, we don't need to speak about what happened, but we didn't win the league and we should have won the league. We had the Crystal Palace game, the Chelsea game. Henderson was banned, wasn't he?
He was, yeah.
Yeah, he got an extra yellow card.
Yes.
He was our
United game, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was our best player.
Man City.
Yeah, the last five games before that, he was our best player, and obviously we're never going to be able to know. But I remember how gutted the fan base was when he wasn't going to play, and it made a massive difference.
Yeah.
We don't lose that game at Crystal. We don't draw that game at Crystal Palace with Henderson, though.
No, Hendo.
We don't lose against Chelsea.
Yeah.
No. I mean, with Hendo, what I will say of Hendo, that this myth that apparently Hendo hasn't got any legs anymore. This myth that he's got. The man played 120 minutes yesterday, and he's covering all ground in the number 6 role. And it's like we said in the pre-game, with no Fabinho missing. Hendo is perfectly suited for that number 6 role. Perfectly suited because he's got a bit more about what he's got. He's just got a little bit more about him than Fabinho has in certain areas. Henderson has got he has got enough recovery pace. He doesn't read the game as well as Fabinho does, because Fabinho's been playing that position most of his life and he's used to it. But what Hendo gives you is professionalism, number one. Hendo's going to give you ultimate professionalism. He's not going to do anything daft, get himself sent off or anything like that. And he's going to do that role to the best of his nature. I mean, don't forget, when he played centre-back last season, I believe he was our best centre-back over 2 games when he played. James Milner. I remember James Milner saying, he went up to him and went, "Don't be too good in this position because you'll be stuck here." Because that happened to Milner when he was back the whole year. So that just tells you how good he is as a professional, first of all. Yeah, he's this captain stuff, it gets spoke about a lot. He has been a successful captain, obviously, but he is playing in the best Liverpool side probably ever. Mm-hmm. So, he is going to be successful. You put a 27-year-old Steven Gerrard in this midfield, we win everything.
Oh, yeah.
All the time. This league will be wrapped up with a 27-year-old Steven Gerrard playing alongside Thiago and Fabinho.
Yeah, Jamie, what I like is what I like is that he's not Hendo isn't a bit part player of Klopp's tenure so far. He's actually like he's been there already. He's not this guy who's just been on the bench, and you know what I mean. So because a lot of times I think people get corrupted by other fan bases when they talk about Hendo. They try and like diss him and stuff like that, and I'm just like, bro, you lot obviously don't watch our team. This guy plays every week. He's not like he's just been there picking up trophies. You know what I mean? To speak about Hendo, and I actually don't want to disrespect this guy here because it's funny to make jokes and stuff like that. But they speak about Henderson like he's Mark Noble. I'm not making it up. They literally talk about him because listen, Mark Noble has been a great captain for West Ham, but like most of the season, Declan Rice is their captain, isn't it? Let's all be honest. He's been their captain for 2 years, isn't it? But
he's like Stevie Light, ain't he?
But Noble still had the armband. There's no problem with that. It's not my team. I don't care. He's a model professional as well. You know what I mean? He's not a terrible footballer. It's just that his legs went ages ago. But when they speak about Henderson, they literally talk about him like he's Mark Noble, like he's just been there on the bench and collecting trophies. And I'm like, that's not like Henderson's been a massive part to this. So yeah.
You ask Jurgen Klopp.
Just
ask Jurgen Klopp about just Jordan Henderson. They'd probably go on for about an hour. How much?
You think Jurgen Klopp will just play Henderson because he's a great captain? No,
it wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
And as I keep saying about Hendo, you notice when he doesn't play, and
massively.
And it's not a good thing. It's not like we're better when he ain't playing.
Yeah. I seen Lallana when he left us cry about Henderson.
Yeah, they're best mates, ain't they?
And he man. Yeah. He wasn't crying because I'm not going to see my friend again because they're best friends. He was crying about Henderson's career as a Liverpool player, talking about because obviously when Hendo's been under them spots where we were going to get rid of him and stuff like that, obviously that's the guy he had spoke to, and he's going to tell somebody. So he was saying that he's been there through Henderson's dark times and stuff like that, and for him to come out on the other side and like. Listen, if Henderson's career ended right now, today, without even the next Champions League, the Prem finishing, he's had a perfect career. It's only going to get better, man. You know what I mean? From this point on, I'm telling you, bro, Henderson is a happy guy, bro. You can see it on his face, man. You see him in the change room yesterday dancing. Oh, mate, what a guy, man.
Yeah. There was one thing, right? There was one thing that I saw at the end of the Champions League. We won the Champions League at the end of it. And, like, him and Klopp was, like, hugging and everything that. Yeah. And Henderson was bawling his eyes out because he's so happy and everything that. And Klopp was crying as well because he was happy for him and happy for the whole team and everything that. Trust me, I don't know about anybody. I felt emotional, you know. Every time I watch that specific clip there, it makes me feel emotional. Really get emotional.
I know we're not going to stand Henderson, yeah. I know we're not going to stand it, but when you guys have time, I don't know if it's still up on their channel, but watch the Redmen done a documentary on Hendo when we won the league. And it's got all this stuff about his dad and stuff in there as well. It's amazing, man.
I've seen it. It's amazing. I've seen it. It's amazing. I've seen it. It starts from like when he first come into football and going right through in the flat. It's an amazing documentary. Yeah. It's a good watch. Yeah. You're right, Travis. It's a good watch. It's a good watch.
He was Mackham born, but he bleeds Liverpool now. That's right.
Yeah, man. Did you hear the Newcastle fans booing him when we played him?
Yeah, I know.
He's just like laughing.
It's been 11 years. I'll talk about booing. Let me just get this out of the way with. Right. Newspaper articles and social media and fans alike who don't understand why Liverpool booed the national anthem. Right. Go and read some history, yeah? And by the way, if you're all right with it, that the Queen bailed out a known person who hangs around with the biggest paedophile the world's ever seen, and you're all right with that, but Liverpool booing the national anthem's a disgrace. I think you need to go and look in the mirror.
Jamie, I told you in the pre-match.
Yeah.
William, don't present us with the trophy. No. Present your uncle to the FBI, bro. We don't need you there, bro. Present Andrew to the FBI. Stop the foolishness.
I just don't understand people.
Yeah, you are right, Jamie. It's a bit crazy that we're in 2022 and people haven't realised why Scousers Scousers are like people from Barcelona. Like people from Barcelona don't call themselves Spanish. They're Catalonians, isn't it? And obviously,
look what he done.
He's not interested because
he wears a Catalonian badge every day. Yeah,
because Spain treated them, and it's the same how England treated Scousers, bro. Yeah. So people need to realise that, man. Left them in the mud, and to be fair, they've not even recovered to this day. There's loads of parts of Liverpool what are still in the shitters, man. So
been destroyed.
Yeah.
Been destroyed through poverty, and also
Oh, yeah.
Londoners. I'm a Londoner, so it annoys me when Londoners start singing that song to Liverpool fans about poverty and all that sort of stuff. When at the moment Liverpool has probably got a better job rate than London has itself.
Yeah.
So it is a bit of a weird one. So
To be fair, Jamie, like it doesn't matter what everyone thinks about the national anthem anyway. I don't understand the point of. I don't understand the point of it being. What's the point?
No one's English.
Yeah, I was looking at that. The camera was going like panning past like the team and stuff like
Spaniard, Brazilian, Portuguese,
that. And I was looking at Salah and Mane's face and that, and I was like,
what's this?
yeah, this is pointless. The best stuff. What they should do is
FA Cup show.
Each team should sing their anthem.
Yeah.
And the fans should join in. So Liverpool should have sang "You Never Walk Alone." Then we go quiet, and then Chelsea sing "Chelsea, Chelsea, 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 Chelsea." That's their anthem, innit? So sing that, bro.
Yeah.
I don't understand. They do a Champions League. Like the Champions. It's true, Chelsea.
Mate, they're a shambles, man.
But
Chelsea.
like the Champions League have got their own anthem. Why don't the FA just make an FA anthem and use that in the final?
Oi, Jamie. Oi, that Champions League anthem is the baddest anthem on the planet. That's so dope. But you know when we played Villarreal, yeah? My son was watching the Liverpool vlog, and for the first time he looked at me and he's like, "Hold on a minute, Dad." He's like, they can hear the song in the stadium as well. I was like, yeah, they're playing through the speakers. It was blown away. It's like, I thought we could only hear it on TV. I'm like, no.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so cute. You gotta love kids. Kids are the best.
Such a donut.
Hendo's long-term position in number 6, maybe. Yeah, he's very good there. He is very good there.
Yeah.
What it does do, Jamie, if we don't sign anyone to put them there, or we do sign somebody to play in Henderson's role, then obviously then him and Fabinho rotate that role. I think that's kind of how Liverpool kind of treat stuff in it. We always end up moving somebody back, like Gomez and Trent. Gomez is like the rotation for Trent now, and then we bring in somebody else. So I don't know, man. But
so Faz said, Jamie, you need to drop a PayPal to help run the channel. Big up yourself, man. I'm not far off getting my mod status. So once that's in, I'll have super chats, and then everyone can.
Jay, how many are we away now? 50? Is it 50 away from 1,000 now?
I'm 50 away from 1,000 now.
Yeah. I think I checked earlier. It was 948.
I think I'm only 1,000 watch hours away as well. So that go really quick now.
I think you'll have it. By the end of this coming week, you'll hit 1,000.
Yeah, it's madness. It's madness. So once that up and all that goes through, you can have there'll be super chats that everyone can play a little bit.
Yeah, man.
You got to have 2 gummy bears for 1,000.
Yeah, I've got my gummy bear. I'm going to do that at the end of the season. That's my end of the season video.
Gummy bear.
I'm going to slice it up proper thin so it just melts and goes straight away. Big up, guys. Jamie and Guess. Hope you're all keeping well. Big up, Niall. I do like Hendo in the 6. I like Hendo there. It's always been good there. Liz, big up, Liz. Hendo is a legendary captain. Big up, Liz, watching from Florida, United States of America right now. Big up, Liz. Rods, how is Robbie feeling after Spurs won today? Top four is going, and Newcastle will win against Arsenal tomorrow. That says Ali. Rods, I don't know if you got any intel there, but that's the question to you. Don Robbie, Arsenal. Yeah, I don't know what he's asking.
Oh yeah. No, because I know him.
Oh, do you? Right.
Yeah. Because he used to play in a sound system called Sovereign years ago. Do you know what I mean? Sovereign Worship. Yeah. And he made a record. He made a record years ago.
He just re-released.
Proud to Black.
Yeah,
Proud to be Black.
Yeah.
It's on Spotify, a big tune, man.
Yeah, Proud to be Black. And so I've known him from the 80s. I'm showing my age now. But I've known him from the 80s and that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm always telling Robbie at the end of the day that his team's dead anyway. I'm always telling his team's dead. Do you know what I mean? Because he knows something different. The thing is about it, right? He used to have him and his cousin used to have this club called a Penthouse in Hitchin. He used to have a club years ago. And this is when Arsenal was riding high and everything, and we was obviously taking a bit of a slump. and he used to give it to me left, right, and centre. He used to give it to me and that, right? I said, don't worry, man, don't worry, don't watch that, because remember the day, you still ain't beating our record and that. That's history and blah, blah, blah. Because, brother, don't watch that and that. So you know what happened? About a year or two ago and that, right? Yeah, about a year or two ago, I seen him at a funeral and that. The first time I seen him in a long time. And I said, how the worm has turned. How the worm has turned. How the mighty have fallen and everything that. And he starts talking about, was it Bellerin and everything that? Because what? Bellend. He talked about that Bellend football and everything that. So he got it and everything that. So
yeah,
I'm consistently telling him about how dead his team is. Do you know what I mean? They may have had a mini revival in winning a couple of games in the first, but trust me, they ain't getting top 4. They're not getting top 4. They're not getting Tottenham will get top 4 before them.
I think Tottenham will secure top 4. But what I love, look, Don Robbie is probably the best businessman on YouTube. The man knows.
The
man's not silly. He knows what he's doing over there. He knows controversy creates cash, as Eric Bischoff once said, and it's so true. And he knows what he's doing. The man knows what he's doing.
The thing is about Robbie and I think that, right? People like Robbie and his brother, Laurie, and think that, right? They're good business-minded people. I think that. Yeah. Because when they was with Sovereign, when they had Sovereign and think that was a successful sound system. They ran that, and it's very successful. I mean, I was really close with them and that because I used to play tunes with them as well. Do you know what I mean? In my sound, do you know what I'm saying? And there was certain times because there was Luton bass, there was Luton bass. There were certain times that they were playing out 3 times in one night, 3 times in one night, and 3 different places. Do you know what I mean? So they've always been business minded. Do you know what I mean? So
he's built Arsenal Fan TV from the ground up, and him and his brother built up and then from the ground up. Yeah, I'm not even joking here. Like anyone who's on YouTube or content creator, if you email Robbie for advice, he will get back to you. Yeah, he might be more busy now. I emailed him before. This geezer messaged me back within 2 hours, bro. Chopped it up with me a little bit. Yeah, I mean, good guy, man. Good guy. I
like him.
I would count probably up until now. There's at least 50 plus, maybe 100 different content creators now who have got a name from going on because now he's got the Don Robbie channel as well. I mean, he's pretty much he's pretty much took Sky Sports to a different level with real fans because they've got that Saturday show now, which is pretty much like Soccer Saturday but with real fans. And then when it comes to watch-alongs and stuff like that, he's just getting in. Some of these fans who are going on the watch-alongs don't have 10 subscribers, bro. They're just like, listen, you're a fan of this club, come and have your say, watch the game, show your personality on the TV. And now people are doing bigger stuff than that. I mean, listen, he's a top guy, man. A top guy. Proper businessman.
He's a good businessman. I feel like that's why when that guy, there's guys from Talk Sport, they was giving him a fight, didn't they? Jim White and Simon Jordan. They was giving him a kind of a fight back and they're fighting him down, put it that way. I know.
Yeah, Robbie destroyed them.
Fighting down. Oh yeah, he destroyed. Yeah, destroyed them quite rightly so. For that, but
the Ray Parlour one was worse than that.
Oh right.
I don't know what Ray Parlour was going on with that.
Disgusting.
That was disgusting. I thought to myself, well, he's doing it for your club, you know.
Yeah.
This is the club you used to play for, and this is the club you came to support, and everything like that. And you want to fight him down like that, mate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Jamie,
you have to give him credit.
Let's get on something else. Let's get on to Trent.
I was about to say, yeah, carry on. I'll ask the question later. It was about football. Now, I was going to say randomly, just a quick yes or no in it. You can speak about, but if it was, because I know the player's going to be cheap anyway or free, and just a part of the squad, would you take Christian Eriksen?
Yeah.
Okay, that's it. Because this guy, I've been watching him for Brentford since he come back from nearly dying, and he's been their best player, bro.
Oh, he's fantastic.
And we have players. We need deliveries from set pieces, and he can take a free kick, and he's not going to cost anything because no one wanted him. And I don't even know if everyone keeps saying he's going back to Tottenham, but we actually don't know if he's going to go back to Tottenham. He left them. He left them for a reason. They didn't get rid of him. I watched the documentary. He wanted to leave. So, and his he's Danish, isn't it? Like my missus. So I know that they're all Liverpool fans. So anyway.
Exactly. And
he was supposed to come to Liverpool, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was meant to come to Liverpool before Tottenham, wasn't it?
Yeah.
With Eriksen, though, his ambitions were bigger than Tottenham's.
And way bigger.
That's why he left. It's still the same now. Look, Tottenham might get fourth, but it's still a lot of work at Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
Still a lot of work.
To be fair, he left and won the league straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Jamie, Trent's 23 and won anything more to come. Look, this kit. Let's talk about Trent in a minute because, right. So obviously we did last time we was all together. We were talking about Trent. And what we're trying to talk about Trent was we've never had this problem with his defending. I know a lot of other people do. Everyone talks about his defending and all that. But like we were saying on that show last week, Trent's not a bad defender. Sometimes he's just lazy, and then his laziness makes him look like a bad defender. But it's not actually bad defending. Well, I think he might have shut up the world yesterday. I think he had one moment when Alonso slipped in behind him, but no one's perfect. Everyone has a little moment.
Jamie, did you get scared when that happened? I'll petrify.
Yeah. And then I realised we had Alisson in goal, and I was quite happy.
I watched the ball go over Trent's head, and I was like, "Is he going to move?" And he just done this.
Yeah, he just looked.
No, I was like, "No, this is what you done against Villarreal. Don't do it."
And then it's all right. We had Alisson in goal.
Yeah, you're right, man. You're right.
Our Alisson went in Player of the Year. We'll talk about that later. Player as well, Player of the Year nominations. But Alisson with that one-on-one save.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had that one slip, Trent. But apart from that, I thought his defending was you asked the Chelsea defender, you asked the Chelsea forwards, can Trent defend? You know what I mean? They didn't get past him. No one could get past him yesterday. He put on a great display. There was a bit, I think it was in extra time when the cross came in, and he was the only one who ran in the middle, cleared it. Great defending. His defending was on point yesterday. And then
Jamie, I think he might have thingy in it. He might have watched our video, man. Because,
he tuned in.
Because I remember when we came on after the Tottenham game, and I said in that about Trent that we saw the best and worst of Trent in one game against Tottenham.
Yeah.
Because that first half against Tottenham, he shot Son down every single time. Every single time he shot him down. And then obviously the second half was the second half, whatever. But yesterday I noticed, my son actually pointed out to me, but I was watching that first half when we were all over them, and I noticed, like, how come Trent isn't as far forward as I thought he'd be? Like, he's normally really far forward. And he was a bit more disciplined. He, like, instead of having to be gun-ho every time I get the ball, I need to be forward, he was kind of, like, picking his right times to go. And which means he left their players on that side wondering, like, we can't really push on and stuff like that. And to be fair, you're right about one thing. That Chelsea, they play 5 at the back, which means they got wing back. So it would have been even harder for him yesterday to defend. And he defended so good. That one you're on about when the ball come across the box and he cleared it.
Yeah.
Mate, that was going right. That was going right to Alonso.
That's great awareness as well.
It was dope, man. Because everyone else shut off on that. So yeah, you're right, man.
Yeah, he's got to get it. When he does, I think he might have shut people up because look, Reece James was getting smoked yesterday by Diaz. This is what I keep saying. When you're a fullback, you're always going to come across a winger that is quick as hell, technically fantastic, and can tear you apart at times. It's going to happen to every fullback. You know, it's probably happened to Cafu before, but we've just not seen it.
Nah, Cafu's been torn up. He's been torn up a lot, man.
It's probably happened to it. It happens to all fullbacks. All fullbacks will get, you know, apart from Ashley Cole, who ain't human at times.
Yeah.
I mean, most fullbacks can get beaten up by.
I mean, to be fair, Ashley Cole against Ronaldinho in the 2002 World Cup.
Yeah.
So
everyone gets it. Doesn't mean that player's bad. Ashley Cole,
of course not.
Back of his generation. You know, Ronaldinho is just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Doesn't mean he's a bad defender. And we've Trent, Martinelli in that Arsenal game, and everyone goes to that. Martinelli is an exceptional young winger who's fast, tricky, and he's got a trick in him. He calls the most experienced right back trouble.
Yeah.
So, this Trent defending stuff is, I think yesterday, hopefully, it put a lid on it. But my God, he's passing yesterday. Jesus Christ.
Mate, that outside of the football.
Oh
the outside of the football.
We spoke that before you come on. Oh my!
If Diaz scores from that, it's
Christ.
It's the best pass. It's one of the best passes I've ever seen, bro. Because it wasn't even like super powerful. It was perfect, man.
It was just beautiful. The crazy thing is, Alisson did it about 10 seconds.
Yeah, he did.
Beforehand.
Yeah, he did.
Alisson, and apparently Alisson's got bad distribution. That's what we've been told. You know, Alisson's distribution's not that great. Alisson yesterday as well. Trent, Ali. I mean, Ali again yesterday. Whose heart was in their throats when Alisson was holding his leg?
I was digi. I was
What's
proper.
happening? A muscle injury? I think no. And then you see Alonso's full studs went down on his leg. I know a lot of people are asking if Alonso be sent off for that. I found that a bit.
Nah, I wasn't sending off at all. It wasn't even a foul.
No, it wasn't even, it's just a follow through from a ball.
Yeah, I think it's because
go for. That's all.
Ali's leg when he dove, it was completely straight. So it's one of them like impact injuries.
Look, you gotta get this follow through rule where you can get sent off for things does my nutting sometimes, because I don't know about, we've all played football. Has anyone actually ever tackled anyone cleanly where you make no contact with the other player? It's
kind of hard to do.
It's almost
kind of hard to do.
It's almost impossible. You come sliding in and win the ball. You go touch the player a little bit, it happens. It's impossible for that unless they're so good they can jump out of the way from you and you completely miss the ball. It's just you always go and make contact, and yesterday is allowed to go for the ball. There's no he has got a right to. So
it kind of shows where the refereeing standards come from. Nothing to because we don't know where the referee started out. Like they don't give us that information unless they offer it up in it. And when I see stuff like that, I'm like, well, you obviously never. You couldn't have reffed that grassroots level for a long time, because if that was Sunday League, bro, mate, your own team player, your own players would be telling you to get up. There wouldn't be, no one would ask for a penalty off it. So
yeah.
But Jamie, what you said about Trent, I think it won't shut people up. I promise. It doesn't matter what Trent does. It won't shut him up. If he does something world class, then the world is waiting for him to do something just so they can say something back to it. Because let's be honest, what's happening to the world now is to talk about Trent in a great way. People can't do it without dissing Reece James. To talk about Reece James in a great way, people can't say Reece James is a top player because Trent can't defend. Like, you need to just leave it in one spot. It's like people can't talk about Mane without saying Salah's being bad, or the other way around. They have nothing to do with each other, and especially Trent and Reece James. Forget the right back thing. Chelsea play with 3 centre backs and wing backs. Wing back and right back, 2 different positions. Reece James plays like a midfielder most of the the They're nothing alike. They are nothing alike each other. You know what I mean?
He plays as a wing back in a back 3. It's completely different.
Mate, the best off just comparing Kyle Walker or someone to Trent than comparing Reece James. They're nothing like each other.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like Reece James,
it's a weird thing, man. As long as our fan base, we're allowed. Listen, when you criticize, we're criticizing with love, innit? We love the player. So if you're criticizing and not being rude, then there's no problem at all. But our fan base is the only one who's going to rate him as that and pundit with his passing. But they can keep talking about this. But for the people who want to go off stats and stuff like that, well, why is his stats better than all the other right backs? It's like, I don't understand. He's literally better than all of the right backs.
These stats are myth. Is that what they're saying?
And that's not his stats. That's not his stats assisting. We know that is better than everyone's. His defending stats are better than all the other right backs.
As high as anybody's in the league.
How can he's won more duels than everyone, and he's won more tackles than everyone, more interceptions than everyone? He's obviously got more assists than everyone. So it's kind of a dead argument. Like, we're not going to win with people who just don't want to admit it, which is fine because it's a Liverpool thing, innit? Because people have it with Salah as well. If Salah's playing great, then it's like, oh yeah, but he didn't score them goals without scoring penalties. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, well,
it's an arm to score penalties, by the way.
It's a weird thing, man, and it's just, I think it's just a new.
People always going to nitpick, aren't they? They're always going to nitpick.
Yeah, but these are internet fans, on it. So I think if you keep that in mind, you don't know behind the keyboard how old the person is. Like, you could be talking to some 12-year-old who thinks this is how you play football, and it's all stat based and stuff. So them 12-year-olds all think that Bruno Fernandes is the best footballer in the world. But it's not how football works, isn't it? So I'm not arguing from this day on. I'm not arguing people about my players anymore. they're the best. Like it's just what it is. It's what it is, bro.
Yeah.
So they can
just
keep
so-
coming with this. Trent's not the best defensively. Well, what he offers our team is more than all the other teams, so it doesn't bother me. Whatever.
Because
Yeah,
yesterday, sorry, go on, Jamie. Go on, Jamie.
I was just about to say, if Trent. Thing is, though, it's because he's a Scouse boy. If he weren't a Scouse boy, there'd be none of this talk. And
Yeah,
let's
Oh
face it,
yeah.
If the man was Brazilian, he'd be the #1 Brazilian right back. There wouldn't be like, oh, he can't play because we want Walker in because he's a bit more defensive. It just wouldn't be. That's why Brazil are a successful nation at world football, won 5 World Cups, and why we have underachieved in football because we think negatively and not positively about football.
Oh mate, I couldn't have said it any better, man. I said this to you.
true.
I've been saying it to Jamie for the last 3 weeks. If Jared Bowen was Brazilian, they would be calling him Jaredinho and he'd be a baller. I don't want to hear it anymore. Anyone telling me, oh, no, you definitely have to get Rafinha over Bowen and you definitely have to get this other right winger over and have to get Anthony over. Bowen's doing it in the Prem now. He's doing it now. Young, 24, 25.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it's a bias, man. And stuff like that is the reason why we don't win stuff. You're right, Jamie, because if Southgate's
Just
watching his
imagine
performances
Bowen
and then
in
the
our
World Cup comes along and he doesn't play Trent and he doesn't play Bowen, then fine, we don't deserve to win anything. Fine.
Exactly, we don't think positive.
Just imagine
If
Bowen
Bowen don't go to the World Cup, if Bowen don't go to the World Cup, it's a disgrace.
Now they'll take him.
Of course it's
They just won't play him.
No.
They'll take him and not play him. I promise.
Man's he's 2 goals today. Good about an hat trick. I mean,
And they're good goals as well, you know.
Great
The
goals.
2 goals that he scored were good goals. I'm just thinking about sort of like Gerard Bowen in a Liverpool team. The amount of service you get. Do you know what I mean?
He's a
Imagine the amount of
club player,
service you
bro.
get.
He's a club player. He's a club player through and
Jesus
through. Like,
Christ.
let's be honest, man.
Do you think Bowen has the pace for our team, though?
What did you say?
Do you think Bowen has the pace that Klopp would want in that front three?
I think so. I think so. If you look at,
not slow.
you know what it is. He can beat a man as well. So if you can beat a man, then you've already got a yard on him. And the pace I see him doing today, I mean, he was dipping past people. He's been doing it all season. I think he's faster than a lot of players in our team. And yeah, man, I just don't get it. I think football fans need to be a bit more honest. Everyone likes to pretend like we're all scouts and stuff like that, but just by the law of averages and how much time's in the day, everyone who keeps telling me that they're watching all these other players abroad, you're not, because I know what time to play football. So when people are telling me they're watching this geezer in the German league, I'm like, well, it's funny that because they kick off at 2:00, our games kick off at 3. But you're telling me you watched all of this person's game. All right, you watched all of Adeyemi's games. All right, that's fine. But one person was sure that you definitely watched their game is Bowen. You definitely saw him turn up against your team twice a year, and then you saw him on the rest of the games, bro. You think about it, if you watch West Ham against all the top teams, just take the top 6. That's 12 games alone. Yeah. And then going to ask me how many games you saw of Adeyemi and Anthony, and you're going to tell me, oh, yeah, watch them. I watch them all the time. You don't watch them all the time. You watch clips, Bundesliga clips.
Exactly.
Let's stop lying. People got to stop lying. It's not the truth. Come on, man.
It's all about, so they get all the information from Football Manager and FIFA.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, FIFA cards, isn't it?
It's the FIFA generation. It's the FIFA generation we live in. People now today, even 30-year-old men, they play FIFA like it's a religion. And they spend like, I had this rant already about FIFA. You buy a game for 50 quid, but then they tell you they expect you to still spend 50 quid inside the game itself to get everything you need. I find that it's gambling at the worst thing. They talk about gambling this is gambling for kids, and it's wrong. And it should be banned. And I'm going to get my son in a few years' time. Come up to me, Dad, I need 20 quid because I need this so and so extra in the game and all that. I'm like, just pump 60 quid on the game. It should be all there complete. It's a joke. It's gambling. And now we live in this FIFA generation where these spoiled fucking brats. I'm going on a rant now. These spoiled fucking brats. They look at certain players and go, "Oh, he's got an 87 star rating on FIFA and he's only 21. My God, he's going to be a G. Why ain't Liverpool in for him? FSG out. Liverpool not in for him.
No,
and then we go and buy a player like Jared Bowen, who's like he's not fashionable because he's English and he's an East London boy or whatever. And you're like, well, this don't make sense. Oh, we've gone the cheap option again. Then he wins a fucking treble the following season.
Mate.
And they come back and go, oh, we were so wrong about Bowen. Maybe Liverpool know what they're doing. Yeah, shut up. You know what I mean? Just let us do the work let
Jamie's
that
right, man.
work and just fucking get where we are now. Look at
Bro.
where we are now. We're going for a
Go
quadruple.
on, Jamie. Go on, Jamie. You tell him.
Go on.
Go on, Jamie. Go on.
City slip up against Villa. Yeah, I use the slip up word because it's going to happen. They're going to draw against Villa, go win the league by 1 point. Then we're going to go to Paris, guys.
Come on.
40 years on since we beat them last time, win Champions League and win an unbelievable quadruple. But then you're all going to still moan that we didn't buy new girl Sal Nuguez from Atletico Madrid in the summer. Yeah,
Terrible player.
We're up for it, guys. I'm sick of the
Nah, Jamie's right, man. Listen, the biggest example I ever saw of that, 100%, Lacazette, bro. I remember it to a T. I remember playing FIFA at the time, and he was dope on the game, and he was in the French league. And then I heard all these people telling me, yeah, Lacazette's a ball. I'm like, you don't watch the French league. Then he got to Arsenal, and yeah, point proven.
Exactly. Scouting is where football.
But did he score a load of goals in France?
Yeah, he did, but they weren't watching
How
him.
many goals did he score in France?
Scored a lot of goals in France. So did a lot of people. I watched Michu leave the French League 2, come to the Prem, and destroy everyone. So I don't want to hear it.
Michu,
it's about scouting. This is where scouting in football is so important because you can look what a player does in a certain league, but then you have to look at their attributes to that system and in that league and think about what they can do in other leagues. And if you don't think they can do it, then it's not the right transfer for you. I think we've got to get back to scouting as a football. Like Liverpool scout all the time. Like we scouted Diogo Jota for 2 years.
Yeah, we got the best. We're the best club at that. Yeah. They got the best scouts in the game.
2 years before we bought him, we eventually got him in, and now look at him. And now Liverpool fans are upset at Jota. The man's got 20 goals this season, and I see our fan base is split on Jota. I don't understand it. I really don't.
Yeah, you know what's happening?
I've got 62 people watching us right now in the live chat. I want everyone going to hit the like
button. Hit the like button.
Jamie, you know what happens sometimes as well? When Liverpool play, this is a massive thing, innit? I see it, man. I'm sorry to call it expose everyone, man, but I can't hold it in anymore. Sometimes, we in fact, not sometimes, every time we play someone in the Champions League, that if they score past us or the team has a good game, mate, no one, and it's on record, I did not see not one person in the chat anywhere. Not here, not Carpish, not St. LFC. I didn't see no one in the chat say, get Darwin Núñez. He has one game against us. And all of a sudden...
I know, they go boosty. Yeah,
Martinelli, he twisted up Trent in one leg and they didn't score. It was 0-0. And then all of a sudden, get Martinelli. Klopp loves Martinelli. Klopp loves Martinelli. He gave him one hug and said that he was a top player. People, it's getting to the point where people are making up stories that are not even there. Like people be like, because I watched one interview when Klopp said this. Me, I watch everything Klopp does. Let me go find that on internet, YouTube it, Google it. It doesn't exist. I remember Klopp said that because he likes small squads, he doesn't want any more players. No, he said he had to deal with a small squad because he never had the money to deal with it. So he even spoke about it yesterday. He said he couldn't believe that he had Matip and Jota to bring off the bench because he's never had that in his career. Yeah. Remember, this guy was a Dortmund manager where all of the bad boys got taken off him. Well, people can't stop lying, man. If someone has a good game against us, it doesn't mean that we need them or they're going to be great for us. You know what I mean? Like, Taki twisted up Virgil and then we brought him. But I think that's because of the money he was worth and he could have helped the squad. But there's loads of these players, man, where I'm just like, come on, man. Of course they're going to play well against us. It's the Champions League. It's the league for all the best teams in the world. Of course you're going to have somebody who has a good game. It's fine. It's quite rare that anyone plays good against a team and then you buy him and then he becomes your best player. Apart from, I remember Man U played Sporting and Ronaldo done him over and became the best player in the world. But apart from that, it doesn't happen very often. So calm down, people.
Let's talk about
we went for Christian Benteke.
Yeah. Right, let's talk about a great transfer. Let's talk about Luis Diaz, the best export from Colombia to the British swords. The sight of white powder hit London in the 80s. Edward, my fan. Edward.
Yeah.
You notice I said white powder, not the word.
Come on.
Don't want to get in trouble.
Of course not.
London in the 80s went massive. London in the 80s went massive when that shit hit. Edward, my man.
What can I say about him? The way he's just acclimatized so quickly and been such an integral part of the team straight away since he's come in January. So he's been so very, very impressive. And last night just crystallised, that cup final just crystallised that fact that he's now such an integral part of our team now. And he's got that left side locked up for the foreseeable. And he's easily the signing of the summer, or not of the season, sorry. Well, just January, the whole season.
Oh, it's a sign of the season. He is the sign of the season. Luis Diaz is a live wire.
I don't know what else there's there to say, really. He's just been.
No, I'm with you, man. I'm totally with you. Rods, your feeling on
He's the best signing, yeah. I'm still laughing at your joke earlier on. He's the best signing, right, of January since Luis Suarez. Do you know what I mean? Because Luis Suarez was a baller. He may have been a scumbag, but he was a baller. Do you know what I mean? He was a baller. Luis Diaz, what I see from him is just determination and hunger and desire. Do you know what I mean? And that's what you need in your squad. Do you know what I mean? When you got those combinations and everything that right, you cannot go wrong as a footballer. Do you know what I mean? You know, and he's just brilliant. He's come in, he's hit the ground running. Do you know what I mean? Right? Scored a couple of goals. And you think about it now, he can only get better. He can't get worse, you know. He can only get better. Do you know what I mean? Right. So, like, next season at the day, when he kind of, like, brushes up on some of his, like, decision-making in front of goals and stuff like that, he's going to be amazing. He is going to be amazing, especially at the day, obviously, we're bringing, you know, additions to the squad. Now, I would like to see a Gerard Bowen in our squad. I'd love to see that in the final. Because I think with the likes of Tulemene and other players and everything that, right, I think Gerard Bowen will be spectacular. Do you know what I mean? Because you check it now, right? Nobody knew about Andy Robertson before he came to Liverpool, you know. Nobody knew about him. And he come to Liverpool and, like, don't get wrong, I was one of the guys in the day who said in the day, well, look, you know, what the hell are they buying this guy for? What's going on? When I saw him playing and everything now, I thought, yeah, I get it now. I get it. And he's just been amazing ever since. You know what I mean? But it's true. People do fall in that bracket of, like, you know, if a person has a good game against us, all of a sudden we rate him. You know what I mean? But not knowing at the day that this player at the day, he probably plays in a system that suits him at that club. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean at the day that he's going to come to your club and do the same thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, but Luis Diaz now, he's just amazing and that, and, you know, keep on going, Luis. Do you know what I mean?
Totally agree. Like, this is his bedding in period. He's still sort of like a Porto player at the moment. Still got that Porto vibe to him at the moment. So, you know, once he gets more integrated with this Liverpool team, especially in pre-season, when Klopp can just work on him a little bit and things he thinks he might need to work on. Sometimes I think his end product needs a little bit more work. Like, I think personally he should have scored yesterday when Trent put him through. And personally, I think he should have scored that. But I think that will come. I've said it already. Next season, Luis Diaz is bagging over 20 goals next season in all competitions. He's that good.
I wouldn't doubt that.
Yeah, exactly. Savage, your thoughts on Luis Diaz?
I love the guy, man. He's quickly become one of my favorite Liverpool players, man. He's the excitement to our game that we needed. Of course, the game's all about results, but I want to see good football as well. And I grew up idolizing these techie ballers, the Ronaldinhos, this R9. So seeing somebody like this in the squad, it's amazing for me. I know he said that he based his game off Ronaldinho, and I can kind of tell, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's been great, man. I heard Klopp say yesterday that, Klopp said he should have scored as well. And he said that he still doesn't understand how he's managed to communicate with the team and Robbo down the side, because he said that even when we finished the game, he said that him and Klopp, he said he was just hugging him, saying "Vamos," but apart from that, they couldn't really connect with each other. But football connects him and Robbo on that left side, man. And I will say, it's a hard one, because obviously everyone's end product can be improved. I wouldn't say that's a focal point only because before he's come here and here so far, it's actually not been bad. Like a lot of the chances he's had to shoot have been created by himself. Like he's took it down the left wing and cut in and done something, and the keeper saved it. I think he's got 4 goals, 3 assists. He's played 12 games for us, and they haven't all been from starting. So he's got 7 goal contributions, and he's only had 13 shots in that time. So he's a baller, man. Like I don't know. I mean, he's sick from the goal scoring list in Portugal now, and he doesn't even play there anymore. And he scored 6 for them. He scored 16 goals in the season. So up until January, he scored 16 goals, and he had 8 assists, and then he's carried on here. So, listen, Jamie's right. It's not me and Jamie spoke about a lot to do with pre-season, but to be fair, not even just pre-season, just life, like learning to speak the language properly. It's gonna be a massive difference to him. At the moment, all he can do is put his hand up. If he wants Trent to send the ball into him, he's got to put his hand up. If he wants a through ball from Hendo, he's got to put his hand up.
Yeah,
I'll say ball.
Yeah, he don't need to speak.
But like, he's made the biggest difference to us. Like, honestly,
Without a doubt.
when the season's done, and we give our rating for who's been the best player of the season and stuff, it won't be him because he's been there half the season.
Yeah.
But realistically, he shouldn't be in the top 5, top 3, but he probably is gonna be there, and he's only been here half the season. 12 games, 2 trophies. It's 12 games, 2 trophies. There's still 2 more to go. It's ridiculous, man. I've not seen this impact before. I know everyone's gonna say like we had Suarez before, and I think he got him in January as well. But the impact straight off the bat wasn't like this.
No.
You know what I mean? It took a few games. But Diaz, man, Jesus, bro. And like he's pretty much our summer signing, isn't he? We just got him a few months earlier, but he's our summer signing. So
there you go, chat Matthew.
He's hungry. He's just got hunger and desire, man.
he just loves football, innit? When you get players who just love football, it's a beautiful thing, man. And he's very strong for somebody who, like, I know that growing up he had problems with his weight and stuff like that. I know he nearly died as a kid and that. And he was malnourished and he had problems putting on weight. For somebody who's like so slender, he's a strong guy, man.
Yeah, he don't get knocked off the ball easy, does it? At all. We've been joined by Jack.
No.
Jack, my man, how you doing?
Not too bad, lads. Get in.
Come on, Jack.
Hey,
Come on.
I was sending home the Everton mates a message. Oh, I don't know. They're on meltdown. They're on meltdown.
Before we get before Jack, as he say, guys, I've got 168 beautiful people watching us right now. Please go and hit that like button, guys, and subscribe to the channel. I'm only 50 away from the 1K dream. So, guys, you know what to do. It's free of charge. Hit that thumb, hit that sub button if you like this sort of thing, guys. And I really, really appreciate much love. But Jack, my man, go for it. Your thoughts.
Yeah, no, the lads are spot on. I've been listening anyway, boys. 100% agreeing with as the lads have said. We spoke. Was it last week or the week before? Like, we're just privileged to watch these lads, and first FA Cup winner since 2006. Obviously, we went to the final in 2012, but every single second of this, and even the result that went today, could be fairy tale ending. We see Stevie G winning us the league. You never know.
Stevie G go throw Burnley to get in relegated.
It could be our Aguero moment. You never know. But yeah, no, made up, mate. It's absolutely buzzing on cloud 9 last night. And obviously, all use. Yeah, it's what moments are for. If you're with your family or your mates, wherever, or even if you went to game, it's amazing, mate. Bloody buzzing.
I love it, man.
We're just talking about Luis Diaz. Everyone else has their say. Jack, you're saying Luis Diaz?
Yeah, no, I agree with Savage, but like you never know. So if Diaz scored the winner on the last game
of course,
against Villa, I think. But yeah, we've got we're so privileged to watch all of them in their own right. They're all captains of the national sides, the majority of them. They're all leaders. Obviously, especially when I was younger, obviously we had Gerrard and Torres, and obviously Mascherano and Alonso. We had world-class players, but we didn't have a whole team of them. And now, and it even cost us, as you've mentioned, boys, him getting the winner, and even Taki Minamino being the highest goal scorer in the 2 competitions that we've won.
Yeah.
It's remarkable he's come in and done the job. So big ups, obviously, Taki. And tell you what, whatever happens in the summer, if he stays, it'd be great if he does, and he continues to have the impact. But yeah, we're just so blessed, boys, aren't we?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think we read somewhere today that Takamino was the top goal scorer in the League Cup and tied top goal scorer in the FA Cup this season.
Amazing.
And you need players like this. I keep saying this to people all the time. You need fringe players like this in your squad.
Squad
that
players.
come in and do the job, because this is how you win cup. It's not just about 11 or 14 players. You can't do what you're doing with 11 or 14 players. Not in this the way football is now. You need these players like the Minaminos who are on the edge of everything all season, and then come in with a smile on their face, totally happy. And look, he's top goal scorer in the 2 domestic cups this season. That's why we are where we are, guys. It's thanks to players like that, and you can't do it without them.
To be fair to Minamino, every goal was a banger as well.
Yeah, he's a good finisher. Takamino's he's a good footballer.
Yeah.
The 7 million transfer made sense. If you look at it from a Liverpool point of view, or a business point of view, whatever you want to look at it, it made sense. It's a good bit of business. You get Takamino in. Look, you make more shirt sales in Asia. That's a good business sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then and then look at it on the playing side of things. He helped us get to 2 domestic cup finals this season, and been very integral in part of it as well, being top goal scorer in both. And if he does go in the summer, I'll be sad to see him go, because I actually like him.
I like him as well, man.
Comes in, no moaning. I know he was, English. He does speak a little bit of it now, but I think he actually speaks it reasonably well.
No, he speaks it really good now.
Because I've been in Europe and that.
He
picks up quite a bit. But yeah, he never moans. Not like a certain Oxlade Chamberlain. And he does his bit. And same with Divock Origi.
Yeah, I'm happy.
I love that guy. I love that guy.
It's like I said to you, Jamie, man. It's seeing them in the changing room and me just focusing on the players who didn't play a part and seeing them so happy jumping around on that. I'm like you would never have known that Origi weren't playing any games. This guy, he was just jumping around like he'd been playing. It's amazing, man. You're definitely right, man. Fringe players and stuff like that. When it comes to these cups, especially the first stages in that third round of the FA Cup and all these, listen, they're needed. And for a long time, we've not had quality in 2 teams. We've had 1 team of quality and then not much depth on the bench. So getting rid of people like Taki and stuff like that, it's kind of pointless until you got somebody to replace them properly.
I'd actually like that comment there, says Andrew, I think just says it. Keep Taki next season, and he just takes the Origi role. That's
keep him.
That's good. But I ain't saying it because they're Manchester United and Alex Ferguson, but he had players like this all the time in his team.
Yeah, he did.
Remember that youngster that come into the we were going for the title against Man United that season.
Makeda.
Yeah, Makeda. He came in from nowhere, and I think he scored in 2 games.
Man, that goal against Villa, the scum.
Yeah,
fucking
and he went on to do absolutely nothing else in his career, as far as I'm concerned. But in them moments, it won Man United.
Frederico Makeda.
It won Man United the Premier League title. These are you just need these players in your squad. That's why Arsenal are struggling. Chelsea don't know how to do that. I mean, did Chelsea have Michael Reiziger for about 20 years and played him once?
Yeah, that's Chelsea for you, man. Mate, Chelsea, bro. Bakayoko still plays for Chelsea.
Yeah, he's just on loan, isn't he? He's just on loan. He's on.
Fuck's sake!
I ain't gonna lie though. I think we should just like raid West Ham. I'm not like take Antonio and replace him with Origi and take Bowen and put him in our squad. Done deal, man.
Matthew is our West Ham fan.
Give him Mox. Give him some money. I'm here for it, man. Hey, big up Matthew, man.
He joined the channel the other day. He's been on since as well, and he's a great guy.
Big up Matthew, man.
He likes Liverpool as well, so big up Matthew. And big up the Hammers for today, Matthew. Big up the Hammers today. And Bowen is on fire. Bowen is an exceptional talent.
Yeah, to be fair, Matthew, man, obviously rivalry because we want Man City to lose games, but they actually got lucky against you. They really did, because to get an own goal and then Grealish's goal going through Dawson's legs as well. Like, they got really lucky. It could have been 4-0 to West Ham, to be honest.
Yeah, Jack was watching.
Yeah, it should have been. It should have been 4-0.
Mhm.
It should be 4-0 after the game.
You watched the whole game. I was with you watching it.
Yeah, Jay's probably laughing his head off and everyone me go mad in that first half. That would have been getting clipped up if Man City won. But yeah, no, it's Antonio. I tell you, he's done quite well. I really do like him. I know
He's so good.
Yeah, sometimes he missed that end product, but
Yeah.
I tell you what, he's similar to like an Eriksen or like a fringe player for most teams.
Yeah.
But I think he played right back, left back. He starts off like in. Was he a fullback or something?
He's played in every position for West Ham.
Yeah, that's mad. But he's a big lad, isn't he? He's so strong. But I just wish he had a bit more better finishing today. But could have had an hat-trick on it another day. But yeah, I'd be all up for the Jared Bowen. I've just been speaking to my West Ham mate, Jay, and he's saying just keep away from Jared Bowen. He's just more than me to say.
I actually wanted Jared Bowen before he went to West Ham. And I remember they were trying to like look. His agent was looking for clubs to take him, and no one wanted him. He's balling him.
That's a good shout by Andrew Dan.
Yeah, that's a good shout to be honest.
Yeah, he's a good shout.
Big up Craig, man.
Massive.
Old school vibes, man.
Is Coppish not doing the stream today? Look, if you guys want to stay here stay here. Don't go to Coppish. They're on all the time. Don't worry about Coppish today. Just stay here.
No, I'll do something.
Yeah, I think they are like that.
Yeah,
stay here, guys. I love Matt. I love Cal. I love Drifty. They're great guys, but they don't need the viewers.
Yeah, my brethren still.
Stay over here. You don't get cocaine jokes.
All one big family anyway. It's amazing.
I love the Coppish boys. Absolutely love them. And the Liverpool community as whole, and all the fans that support every single Liverpool YouTube channel is absolutely fantastic. There's no other team or fan base quite like Liverpool Football Club. I'll tell you that right now. And let's get to the second half, guys. Let's get to the second half. So the first half, we were amazing. I thought we were fantastic in the first half. Should have been 2-0 up. Pulisic had a chance for Chelsea. And that was about it for them in that first half. We outran them. Outplayed them in quite a lot of areas of the game. Trent was on smoke. Diaz was firing. And obviously Salah went down. In the 35th minute in that first half, Salah went down.
Yeah,
feeling his groin. We're hearing now that he sounds like he's going to be fine for the final game of the season and Champions League final. Him, Fabinho over there, and Virgil. Virgil just felt something. Apparently, with Virgil, they said if it went in the night, he could play on, but they said if it went past into extra time, they'd bring him off. So that's why Virgil came off, but. They won't play on Tuesday. I don't think they need to. If we can't beat Southampton without Salah and Virgil, we don't deserve to win the league. Full stop. So,
yeah, as long as you don't give any stupid free kicks away against Southampton, we should beat them. Keep Ward-Prowse away from that ball, man.
Yeah, exactly. But going to the second half, we just sort of like I don't know. It was like the League Cup final, wasn't it? It was like the league. It reminded me a bit of the League Cup final, a little bit roles reversed.
Yeah.
Chelsea were a better team in the first half of the League Cup final. We were a bit better in the second.
Yeah.
And then this game, it roles reversed. But look, how did you guys feel about Edward? You there, my man? You on mute?
Yeah, I'm here.
Edward, how did you feel about the second half?
Well, first 10 minutes, we started really slowly, didn't we? Chelsea had quite a few chances. Lonzo hit the bar about the first 10 minutes or so. So, yeah, seems we started slowly, but we grew into the second half eventually. As you said, we had our chances. And then I thought we really controlled it more from 60 minutes onwards, even though we both had our chances from that. But you could tell as we were getting nearer to full time that both teams were reserving energy for extra time. But we did have a few free kicks where I thought we could have done better, put it into more better areas. And of course, we hit the post with Robertson, that should have gone in. But yeah, I think I saw us conserve our energy. I saw us, we should have taken better free kicks when we had them in those good positions. But there we go.
No, you're right. We're right. Like you could tell both teams were getting tired in that second half, but I thought Liverpool, we adapted reasonably well. That first 15 minutes, Chelsea came out. Like I said it on my watch along. I said you know, Liverpool mascots have come out to start the second half. The first team would be out in a minute. You know, it's, we didn't start that second half off at well, and I think Alonso hit the crossbar from a free kick, and he was really under pressure. But you know, this team is so hard to score against us, even when we're dead tired and can barely move anymore. It's still very, very difficult to score against Liverpool Football Club. And Rod, your thought in the second half?
Pretty much the same. I think we tried to conserve some energy, but we still like handled the game well. We still was able to sort of like defend well. As I said, sort of like with Trent, his passing and his defending yesterday was awesome. So we still was able to sort of like do what we needed to do to keep it as, you know, sort of like not conceding. I said that with the goal, with the hitting the post, Robertson hit the post. I was like, my heart was in my mouth. Like, is that a goal? And I thought, oh my God, it's hit the post. And I think Luis Diaz hit the post as well. So, you know, we played reasonably well in the second half. It's just that we obviously had this little drop off at the beginning of the game and everything that beginning of the second half, which sort of people might think, well, okay, you know what I mean? You know, they might have a chance, but I think we dealt with the second half professionally. We managed the game and everything that. And as I said, sort of like there's nobody in the second half of everything that I thought to myself, well, Klopp, just take him off. Do you know what I mean? Because he's having it, you know, a bad game and everything that. I think everybody played well. So yeah, the second half wasn't obviously like the first half, but we still managed the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. Jack, was you a bit surprised how defensive-minded Chelsea still were in that second half, even though we were still tired? Because Werner's on the bench, and look, no matter what you might think of Timo Werner as a player, the man is as quick as lightning. And when you've got a team that is dead on their feet and you're not bringing him on, why do you think Chelsea firstly didn't bring him on? And was you surprised they still played a kind of defensive-minded game in that second half?
Yeah, it's Thomas Tuchel though, and it made it. I think shout out to Alonso. I think he was probably their man of the match. I think we can all agree with that. He could have had Natrick on another day if he had the shooting boots on. Pulisic, for some reason, always plays well against Liverpool. Don't know what it is. Still begrudged that we didn't sign him all those years ago. But yeah, and as you said, Lukaku, I think he scored or like he had a good game against Leeds, but it's easy when you play Leeds, isn't it? A couple of days prior, but yeah, if your team are winning, I think all of us going to agree going into next summer. Saying that they can't sell or buy players, can they, at the minute? So they're a bit in a tricky situation in limbo, really. But yeah, for me, Chelsea, I think when you play a three at the back, don't get me wrong, they've got three very good centre halves, but it's easier to play like a 3-5 back in terms of defensive side. Chelsea have got a lot of talented creative players. When you look at their squad, if you go with Kai Havertz, obviously was a massive miss for them yesterday. But Kovacic, I absolutely love him as a player, regardless of who he plays for. He's a bloody baller. The way he just controls the game and then goes who can take over. It's the man's a joke. Like he's got like 5 lungs. He can literally outrun everyone. And the best moments of the game for me was when Kante was running into the corner. You got Diaz still going. You're like, it's like the South American flair. And it was like, bloody hell, it's a battle like deep into the game. But yeah, I think they've got a massive summer, not just for Liverpool and City, but it's a massive summer for Thomas Tuchel. He's got a habit of falling out with a lot of players. His time at Mainz and obviously Borussia Dortmund and PSG. So yeah, it's be interesting to see how they do fare, because it has been a failure from their point of view. I know we can. I know you can question their. Oh, we've had injuries, but Liverpool had injuries last season. We still finished above them. So like, it's what narrative they want to spin going into the beginning of the next season. But happy days. And if you want to lose another penalty shootout next season at Wembley, we'll be up for it.
Well, you're welcome. Come to Anfield. Not a problem. Not a problem. No, big up, Jack. Before I want to get to you, Savage, I just want to say big up the Bonkers LFC. Just subscribe to the channel as well. It just pops up on the screen. So big up to you, my friends. James Hardy. It costed Chelsea. I see what you've done there. I hope history repeats itself for the Champions League final in Paris in '81. Real Madrid number 7 is coming. You never walk alone up the Reds. Yeah, 40 years on to the day. And that was the last time. 40 years ago was the last time Real Madrid lost a European final. That is ridiculous, by the way. That was the last time, and repeat itself it will.
Sorry, boys. James Milner as well, Jay. Sorry, I don't know if he's mentioned James Milner. Fuck me. I don't know. It's like if Savage wants to talk about him, but this man defies expectations. He was massive, especially the job in which he done like down that right hand side to suffocate Chelsea's left hand flank. It was remarkable.
I want to before we go to Savage's comments. I want to say when Diaz came off yesterday, media go bonkers and start questioning Klopp. It was crazy. Like, so you want to run Diaz into the ground and possibly get him injured, do you? It's like, use your common sense, guys. It's not. He did the right thing by bringing him off. The man was getting tired. You could see it in the game. He started to have less effectiveness in the game. He had to come off, guys. Guys, we can't. We have a squad we have to rely on. Stop fretting when the manager brings certain players off. Because I don't know about everyone else on this panel, but I don't think Klopp's ever got much wrong in his 7 years at Liverpool. You know what I mean? So I trust the man. I could see it with my own eyes. Diaz was shattered. He probably slept about 12 hours last night. The man was probably dead. You know, he did the right thing. I remember when people start to get tired, they get into that red zone, and that's when you hit the red zone, you can get muscle injuries. So you want Diaz to play 120 minutes of penalties and then get a muscle injury and miss the Champions League final. Big up to you. You know, if that's what you want as a fan. Me personally, I'd rather see him come off, freshen up, and still win the game. So that's what happens. Savage, over to you.
Second half, man. You know what, man? Chelsea's they're a good team, innit, man? I feel like their style and stuff kind of like brings the game to a halt all the time between us because styles make fights and they're like the antithesis to us, man. They're like the complete opposite. But I think like we controlled the game. They obviously had their chances and stuff like that. I think what it is with Chelsea, when they're making subs off the bench, their subs just have a little bit more legs in it. They're a bit younger, faster. So speed was going to kill in that game. But I feel like Henderson controlled that number 6 role in the second half and stopped them coming through a few times. And don't get me wrong, there was points in the game where I was like, when I watched like Kante and that coming, I'm like, Jesus, man, everyone's dying, and you bring this kid on. And then I seen Ziyech coming on looking fresh, and I was like, oh, okay. But I was really proud of the boys, man, because it was quite disciplined. I think we had to be. Diaz was trying everything. There was he was trying, like, you're right, he had to come off at some point because he would have left his hamstrings on the pitch. Like, he was starting on the left-hand side, and he kept seeing him end up on the right-hand side, but it wasn't because he was just out of position, because he was trying everything to get us a goal. I thought he was incredible. I thought Milner coming on was Milner's come on this game and he's come on against Newcastle, and he's been great, man. He's he put one on someone straight away, which I found hilarious. He can't help that.
No.
And the thing is,
when it's Reece James, he did too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. But the thing is, he does it and he doesn't he does it and doesn't moan to the ref. He turns around and walks off. Doesn't matter what the ref's got to say to him. He's like, I know what I'm doing. This is old school. Yeah, man. I think obviously they got in a few times, but like I said, them playing 5 at the back, that wing back thing's very weird, man. Because especially if you're playing against a team what's tired, because they can't get up and back enough, and then you freshen it up. So it looked like Alonso had a lot of space and time on that left hand side. But to be fair, Trent handled him pretty damn well, to be honest. These are techie guys, man. I think sometimes as Liverpool fans, we forget when we're playing against these teams, we talk about how we play. But sometimes it's not us doing anything wrong. It's just that there is another good team on the pitch as well, with another good manager. They're a defensive team. They've got that down perfect. But yeah, man, I thought we'd done great. And I think there was a part where towards like the last 10 minutes of that game, I was watching Chelsea, and it looked like they were trying to play for extra time. And then after that, trying to play for penalty, which is what they've done in the League Cup as well, which is quite weird. I think the reason why they didn't put Werner on, even though I would have, if I was a manager, I probably would have made that swap. I think it's at the point now they just don't trust him, and they've got reason not to trust him in front of goal. So whether he breaks the line and stuff like that, he has more offsides in the league than any other player, which means that he doesn't time his runs very well for someone that quick. And then they just can't trust him to put the ball away. Matip was great. I know, like, he was incredible. I think there was a few. I don't think there's eyebrows raised in terms of, oh my god, it's Matip coming on. I think everyone just thought, nah, with the speed of Chelsea, this could be a bit tricky. This geezer was perfect. He was stopping everything. And yeah, man, the guys just they smashed it. To be fair, they smashed it. I thought like we definitely deserved the win. What you said earlier about Salah as well. The only thing I said it to you in the chat yesterday, I was a little bit confused, and obviously, I don't want to put some narrative on it because I don't know the man personally and I don't know anything. But just on body language alone, I was a little confused that he didn't look bothered that he was coming off.
Yeah,
and that if that thing never happened before with Real Madrid when he had to come off in the Champions League final, then I would have had nothing to say. But because I saw him extreme crying, looking heartbroken, and then yesterday was like he got up and it was like, all right, then I'm coming off. And then even when he walked off and then went to the stairs, he was just normal. He was just like, yeah, it's just fine. So I don't know what happened there, man. But and yeah, Klopp did say about Virgil that, to be fair, Virgil said to him, I feel something, and Klopp was like, well, if he gets to extra time, you're not playing. And he didn't. So and done the right thing, man. And I think it will help us going forward for the last couple of games, man. But yeah, we done great, man.
No, excellent. Yeah, as you say, I think when I look back at the game today, and like over 120 minutes, I think for about 70% of it, I think we controlled that football game.
Yeah, we're good, man.
Because Chelsea played the way they do it, play a pragmatic way of game. That's how they play a pragmatic style. They try and defend, keep everything at a distance, and then hit you on the counter attack. But that's why I was shocked that Timo Werner never came on in that game at all yesterday. No matter what people think of him, as you say, he's offside a lot, he's born offside, and you know he's got pace to burn. But when you're so quick, that was Liverpool yesterday, and Timo Werner was on the bench for Liverpool, and Chelsea were dying at the back. They were on their last legs. Werner would have been on, absolutely murder against them, and I'm shocked by that. And Tuchel, look, I think Tuchel's getting away with it a little bit because what's happening behind the scenes with the club getting taken over and everything all over the place at the moment. I do think he's getting away with it. I do think
that excuse of the stuff behind the scenes with their club, it ain't going to work for me.
Because it happened with us, with Hicks and Gillette.
Yeah, but I heard Gary Lineker on about them in the studio yesterday, and it was like, of course, the circumstances of what they're going on. And I'm like, I'm sure the millionaire footballers are not the ones who should be worried. It's their staff in the merchandise store and the cafeteria and stuff like that. So let's not pretend like it's actually bothered their team. You couldn't make a signing anyway because there's no other transfer window. No. So you've got the team you wanted for the season. Remember, they're the champions of Europe, so there's not really an excuse. So basically, you're just telling me that Ben Chilwell is the reason why you can't win the league. It's not acceptable, especially when they was running. No, it's not acceptable, especially when they was running their mouth at the beginning of the season. And one other thing, I'll just say what was quite funny. Yeah. When Milner was coming on, the commentator kind of said Milner's name as a surprise, and it was like, and Liverpool are bringing up James Milner. If you saw the reaction from my missus, I wish I recorded it. She was like, "Why?" She's like, "Why are they speaking about James Milner like that?" I said, "I think they're a bit shocked." She's like, "Well, that's disrespectful. It's James Milner, my missus."
20 years. 20 years Milner's been at the top of his game.
Yeah, my missus was like, "But he doesn't get tired, so bring him on." I was like, "Yeah, to be fair, my missus knows our Liverpool man."
Perfect opportunity. It was the perfect timing to bring James Milner on at that time. Perfect time because you could see that Chelsea, what the players Chelsea are bringing on, and James Milner don't miss about. If something needs to be done, Milner's got to take someone out. You know, he's got to stop. He's got to foul. He's got to stop possession. He's got to stop counter attacks. Doesn't care if he gets a yellow card because that's what you need in the game at that time to slow Chelsea down from us being tired. Klopp can see we're tired. Klopp ain't stupid. He goes, right, we're a bit tired here. Right, what have I got? I'm going to bring Millie on because I know Millie will slow the game down when Chelsea have the ball.
100%.
And that's clever. That's really clever. And it worked at the end.
Listen, if Milner played against West Ham, the league might be over now. we might have won it because there was a part in that West Ham game we lost when Bowen ran through, and all everyone had to do was just nudge him on the floor. Milner would have took him out.
Yeah, exactly.
We need it sometimes, man. That's not quite the dark arts. That's being smart. But sometimes
City do it every match.
Yeah, De Bruyne is the king of that, bro. De Bruyne is the king of tripping people over, bro.
That's it all the time. You got to do it. It's nothing wrong with it.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they've offered ain't it offered Milner another contract, isn't it? About another year extension, isn't they?
Yeah, I think it's on the table.
sure
I think it's up to him. Yeah.
Take it, man. Them first round, well, the third round of the FA Cup and stuff when we got kids who were playing Luton and them teams should be the captain in them games.
Yeah.
Well, might be playing Luton in the Premier League next season.
Oh yeah, Luton. Oh yeah, damn.
Luton. Christopher in the house. How you doing, Christopher? Can we still win the league? Well, let's talk about that for a second. So, obviously, City dropped points today against West Ham, so my dream is coming true because I dreamt this the other night. I said to Jack on his show last night, and this is happening. All right, and they got the points today. Weirdly, I was just saying it to my missus downstairs, and she looked at me a bit confused. But right, before I went on, and I'm going to tell you guys right now, this might be weird. I think I said it to Rods already and Edward before you guys came on as well. In a weird way, I'd rather City drew today than actually lost. And this is going to sound crazy. If they lost today and we beat Southampton on Tuesday, we go on equal points, yeah? And it's just a goal difference. And then City have to win their last game of the season no matter what. But I think we're 5 goals behind right now. So when you go for goal, my thing is when you go for goal difference, we did this against Crystal Palace years back. When you go for goal difference, that's when mistakes can happen, when you need to bang goals. So we'd have to score 5 against Southampton, and then we'd have to try and match or beat whatever City score against Aston Villa.
Goal difference is 7, Jamie.
Yeah. So that is very difficult thing to do when you're chasing goal difference. With City dropping points in a draw, if they drew today and they draw against Villa, Liverpool can just win 2 games 1-0 each and win the Premier League title without chasing goal difference.
Agreed.
Less pressure on it in a way. So in a funny way, I don't know about you guys, I'll let you guys answer this. But in a funny way, them drawing instead of losing today is sort of a easier scenario. Savage, what is your thoughts on that? Or am I talking silly?
You're right, because you can speak about it in hindsight. But for me, whenever City's next game is, I just need them to lose that particular game. But you are right. You are right in exactly what you said. But like, it's Man City, and beggars can't be choosers. I would have rather them just lost to Wolves, to be honest. What I cannot believe is that when we were 14 points behind and we got like midway was about 6 points behind at one point. This scenario is the one scenario that every Liverpool fan was talking about and joking about, like, oh, it's going to get down to Stevie Gerrard last game of the season, Coutinho banger. I cannot believe it's going to get down to that point. No, I'm not going to try and mug off Southampton and Wolves because, you know what I mean? Football's football. They can, you know what I mean? Stuff to take them serious. But is it really going to end like that? Like, it's going to be unbelievable if that's the way it ends. If it's Villa, if it is Stevie G. They've got the players to do it, Villa. You know what I mean? They were trying to bully us a little bit. And if you remember, I know Gerrard lost to Man City the other game when he first. But they were pretty good in that game, to be honest. They were pretty good. I don't know, man. I don't know. Mate, it's mad to think about, to be honest. It's not even the fact that it's just that last game. It's just like the quad's actually alive. And I don't know, man. I don't know if my heart can take even winning. That's how bad. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen to me. It's unbelievable. It's ridiculous, man.
Stay off the protein shakes that weekend because that will.
Oh yeah, mate. Listen, man. Whoever wins the league, they deserve to win the league, innit? That's what point we're at now. Yeah, I mean, it's 2 great teams. Can't afford to slip up. Their point tally since whenever is damn near. I think Man City is 1 point ahead in their point tally for the last like 4 years at combined or something like that, which shows that there's not much between the teams. Whoever loses didn't bottle it. I mean, to be fair, City, if they lose the league, it's more bottling than we did because they were, But if we then it's not for us. It ain't bottling it. It's just City were just a little bit better. It's very exciting though. I didn't want that feeling today of the league's over and we got to play Southampton and Wolves for no reason. I didn't really want that feeling. And it kind of wound me up that like I seen the goal difference go down when West Ham were winning 2-0 and then it's back to 7 now. But I actually don't think it's going to end on goal difference. I think we're going to win the league. I actually think that I said this before. I think Villa's going to draw with Man City. I think the game's going to be 0-0. I feel because I think if Man City start that game and try go all guns blazing against them, which I think they will now. If you've seen Pep's face today, he's not willing to like take his time in that game. Then I think Stevie, whether he likes it or not, he'll have to resort to just putting everyone behind the ball and then throwing Ollie Watkins up top and hoping that they can catch someone on the break. But listen, Villa make that game half time, it's 0-0. Then listen, we're in for it, man. We're in for it. But if I see a Man City go in within the first 6 minutes, just turn the TV off, man.
Oh yeah. If
turn the TV off, man.
If Man City take the lead in that game, so I mean, it's going to be fascinating next weekend.
Even if they do take the lead, Jamie, one goal, as long as it remains one goal, then
everything to play for, isn't it?
They are suspect at the back, though. Watching that game today and watching it, I mean, I was in the chat with Jamie and was doing the watch along against the Wolves as well. They're suspect at the back. I watched Antonio bully the hell out of Fernandinho all game. Laporte was doing weird things. I keep telling everyone about Ederson, but no one wants to listen. He's a bit mad. He's a bit of a mad geezer. And Zinchenko is actually normally solid, but he was playing terrible today. So De Bruyne wasn't good today either, which shocked me. He played amazing against Wolves. He must have used all of his attribute points in that game because he was terrible today. Grealish was back to throwing himself on the floor. Bernardo wasn't good. Rodri wasn't good. I think Jesus was putting himself about. So Man City is a weird team in it because you don't know what team's going to come out. But what we do know is their defense isn't that good, and Villa can score goals. Danny Ings can score goals. Yeah, I mean Ollie Watkins, Coutinho will play. Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. But we got to do our job. I think now that we're in our heads that the quad's still on, and I think we kept that in our heads anyway. Now let's kind of like after just forget about them and win our games, man. Because if we don't win on Tuesday, then it ain't going to mean anything. So
exactly. Yeah, let's take care of Tuesday.
I think Villa can get at them though. I think Villa can get at them. If Villa start playing their games, they can.
Gerard's smart, man. Gerard's a smart manager.
Yeah. It'd be interesting if we score the first goal, how that will play at the Etihad if it's 0-0. With the fans.
You guys remember Glenn Murray scoring?
Yeah. Do you remember? Glenn Murray winded up at the time, didn't
I
was celebrating like a madman. The Premier League's coming to us. The Premier League's coming to us.
Bro.
One, don't I?
I nearly drop kicked my missus, bro. And then when I checked the score again, I seen that Aguero kept scoring, bro. And I was like, Jesus, man, this is ridiculous. I think did it end 5-1 that game or 6-1?
Like 4-1, 5-1, same ridiculous.
Oh man, they were playing good as well, bro. But nah, man, that hurt my feelings. And didn't we have Wolves that game as well? We won 2-0.
Yeah.
We won. We had Wolves in the last day of the season. Yeah.
So they just decided to give us Wolves again.
Yeah.
Something's not right. Something's not right there, man. I don't know about Man City, man. I don't know, man. Something suspect going on there, bro.
The Mahrez pen note today, that was massive.
Massive.
Psychologically, it is well. Well, we all watched that 5 minutes of madness. We've just been speaking about Milner, haven't we? If Milner played against Real Madrid for City, City win that game and they go to the final.
Easy.
And obviously, but psychologically, we've all played football as a kid or in the park, not at the quite level of the elite level, but that must do something to you. It's all right, us fans thinking about us winning the league, but you'd be sat there in the changing room after full time, and I'm pretty sure Kevin De Bruyne, he stormed down that fucking touchline really and went straight in because even he's been on record as saying City are bottlers in interviews, and he lacked the character really. I know it's mad, obviously as we spoke about, obviously the 1 point difference over the last 3-4 years in the league, but if you think about it, as he said, boys, if we can beat Southampton, still a massive game. We can get into that game and we're 2-3-0 up, or even 1-0 up.
Yeah.
It's not like City need to get beat. You only need to draw.
Yeah, exactly.
And if just Stevie, even he has to 2-foot someone on the halfway line, get a 10-month ban, or something. They're attacking down the left wing, and then Gerrard puts out his foot in it. Slippy G this. That'll be nice. But yeah, it'd be magic, mate. As the lads were saying, I don't even know what we'd do. Like, what would you do, chat, as well? Like, what's your plan of action if the unthinkable does happen?
I'll tell you what.
I'll be crying like a baby, man. I'll be crying like a baby. Seriously, crying like a baby.
That's why, Jack, that's why I was speaking and saying, like, in a weird way, the draw is almost a bit better than City actually losing, because we haven't got to worry about goal difference in the last day of the season.
Yeah.
What we've got to do is win our game and then see what happens with City. So, you know, if we're going in for goal difference and we have to chase 4 goals against Wolves and stuff like that, then it's a bit. That's when mistakes happen, because you're just piling forward, ain't you? Constantly piling forward, looking for them goals, and you leave one at the back, and you know they score. Then you need 5, and then it's like it becomes too much of an ask. But you know, we can win the league this season. Like next week, I'm just winning 2 1-0 games. That's for me. That's how we should be looking at it.
City give you opportunities, as the lad said, don't they? Like today, you can get at them.
I'm in.
All right, Steve.
Come on, Stubbs.
Well, man, I was at the final. I don't know if he's got much voice.
Did you bunk security, lad? Did you get in?
No. All right, guys. How's it going?
Yeah, we're good. So, tell me what it's like at Wembley. You was there. Let us know what it was like. What was it like? What was the atmosphere like, mate?
Oh, buzzing, mate. I was right next to the Chelsea fans. It was just, do you know where you get the little barrier where they've got the black things just casing over the fans? I was right next to them. To say they took to feet gracefully was an understatement. They were throwing bottles of water at us, plastic flags, basically anything they could throw, they were throwing out. They were starting on kids and stuff like that as well. So they didn't set themselves in glory or anything like that. But you know, what an atmosphere. Just they've only got one song, Chelsea, haven't they? Really, it's embarrassing.
Chelsea.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, that one. But no, what a game. Just really enjoyed it. Late getting back as well. It wasn't until about 1:30 this morning I got back in.
Jesus, man.
So yeah, it was a long day, but worth it, mate.
How much are the ticket stubs?
I got it for 70 quid.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bad.
Right, dude.
At least it was real.
Did he drive down? Did he drive down, Stubbs? Did he drive down on train?
Yeah,
One of my friends drove down, so it wasn't too bad, to be honest.
Good.
Okay.
You're not far. What is it? A couple hour drive for you, Steve? Isn't it?
It took just over 3.5 hours, I think it took.
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5, but all worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Jamie, the Andrew's comment in the chat about the trophy parade. I was reading that earlier on the Liverpool Council and the website as well. That win the Prem or the Champions League is on the 29th, 4 p.m.
Yeah. I'll be in a certain city for that day. No doubt about it.
Booked up the train tickets already, big man. You know, like that.
I'm in Liverpool that day. No worries.
Yes, sir.
Jack, I want to ask something. Are they showing it at this Champions League final? Are they showing it at any arena or at Anthem or anything like that? When they're showing it?
The Echo Arena, mate. Keep
Echo.
an eye on everyone if you're thinking of getting tickets, or have a look at the Echo Arena. They always do something in the final.
Yeah.
And they'll do something in the stadium. They'll put the stadium ones. You have to be quick on it. So set up about 5 laptops or something and try and get on. Because Liverpool and tickets, their site is absolute shite. It just clashes. So yeah, there'll be stuff. And even if you come to Liverpool, everyone, if you just the city's so welcoming anyway, everyone, and they'll always tell you there'll be one hell of a party. Even if we end up with 2 cups, the League Cup and the FA Cup, still been an amazing season. And I think they will do a parade with both the FA Cup and the Capital One Cup. I know rival fans will try and belittle that, like because you know they got nothing else better to do. But
Yeah.
that's more trophies
Yeah.
than they've got in their like 10-year history or recent history anyway.
Yeah.
Totally right. Everyone else watching at
No,
the same time, we've got 318 of you in the chat right now. So make sure you
Wow.
hit the
Jesus.
like button, guys.
Like and subscribe, man.
All the good
Yeah.
stuff. And at the end of this video, guys, I'll put everyone's link in as well.
Nice
So
one.
make sure you go
Come
and
on.
check these great people out on today. And if on Tuesday, guys, I'll be doing another post match. So if anyone wants to come in who hasn't come in today, I'm just going to keep it these closed lot here today, guys. But from Tuesday, if anyone wants to come in, I know some people have asked in the chat already.
Yeah.
Come in on Tuesday, guys, for the post match on Tuesday. I'll have you in, not a single problem. A question from Christopher: would you guys in the studio take the treble? Where we're at now.
We're not
I think
Everton.
it's a
We
big
do
yes.
it.
I
Yeah.
think it's a big yes, my friend. I think it's a big yes. Yes, the quadruple is an amazing thing. Let's not get it right. I think what the quad shows how almost impossible it is to win. How
Definitely.
almost impossible it is to win. You look at Man City's quality squads of the last few years when they almost attempted it. When Man City were at their attempt to go for the quad and everyone was talking about, was it a couple of seasons ago? When everyone was talking about, they never got as far as Liverpool have.
No, they didn't.
In all the competition how far Liverpool have got now. You know, so it just if Liverpool and Man City can't do the quad, in my opinion, no one can. No one will ever do, because these are the two best sides we've probably seen in English football and in Europe at this moment in time. And if we can't do it, I don't think it'll ever be done. So a treble, look, if we win the Premier League, what I love about the quad, if we win it, there's two things I absolutely love about it. One, it shuts United fans up. We never talk about the treble ever again.
Oh, yeah.
And two,
Right.
Never like to stand up.
and two, it shuts Man City fans up as well, because Man City fans go on about they're the only team that won the domestic treble. So we
Yeah.
shut two fan bases up.
Yeah.
The quadruple. So yeah, it is mad for it, and it is on, isn't it? The league is. It's crazy that we've come to the last game. And if we beat Southampton, not take them lightly. We shouldn't take them lightly. Talking about Southampton quickly to you guys, do you think the result today with Man City, West Ham, I'll get to you, Rods, first. Actually, I'll get to you, Edward, first. You're next. I'll get you, Edward.
Okay.
And we'll go around the table. With the result today, City had today, do you think that changes Klopp's plans for Tuesday? And he might, you know, because I have a feeling he might have put in quite a weak squad. Well, not weak, because it's very hard to put a weak squad out if you're Liverpool Football Club. But a weak team out against Southampton, do you reckon he might change his mind a little bit now he saw the result?
I think he will change his mind, yes, but I still think there will be 3 or 4 changes from the starting lineup yesterday. Well, certainly Virgil and
Go on, tell me your changes. Tell me your changes. Do you think it might be?
right. It'll be probably easier to tell me what my starting 11 would be.
Yeah, go for it. Give me your starting 11. Go on. Give me your starting 11.
Okay, it'll be Alisson, Trent, Gomez, Matip, Costas, Hendo, Jones, Thiago, Mane, Bobby, Diaz.
Sweet. Rods, how do you feel about this now coming up with what you've seen from Man City dropping points today? Think it changes his game with his game plan or anything? Or he just goes out the same no matter what?
No, I don't think he changed his game plan. I think the game plan at the end of the day is going to be to win the game. It's going to be to win the game and get in front. As for personnel, I think he will start with Alisson, obviously Alisson. Left back with Tichimikas. In the middle, he'll probably have Matip and Kanate. I reckon he'll play Kanate and for that. And he'll probably have Gomez out on the right as a right back. In midfield, you're more or less looking at probably Millie being there, Henderson being there. I feel Cato being there. Up front, you probably have Jota, Origi, and Mane. Do you know what I mean? I think you'll probably give Origi a game because he's going to anyway. Do you know what I mean? And Origi at late is good up front. He can hold the ball up and do his stuff and everything like that. So I think the mindset and the gameplay is probably going to be the same, because either way in the event, we have to win this game. Whether the fact at the day that sort of like Man City sort of like won today or not, I think Klopp will still want to win the game. He still wants to win the last 2 games of the season. To say at the day, look, you know what? At the game, the guys, we gave it a good go, but we just couldn't do it. Do you know what I mean? You know, so it stays the same for me. It stays the same.
You got Steve, your feelings?
Yeah, I mean, there's huge pressure on us right now, because if you look at it, Man City have played the game more, but they're 4 points ahead. If we don't win, then obviously they've got the title. The best thing we can do is win the game, take it to the last game of the season, and obviously just hope that Man City still have to win the game as long as we beat Southampton. So that there'll be massive pressure on both us and Man City going into the last game of the season. But I think we've said this quite a few times now, that the league is one that hasn't been in our hands, whereas obviously League Cup, the Champions League and the FA Cup realistically was in our own hands. We've won 2 out of the 3 already. But I think as much as I'd love to see him go strong, he's going to make wholesale changes. I mean, being at the game yesterday, you've seen the players were on the feet there. Robbo obviously got subbed near 10 minutes to go in extra time. There was lots of people who were just on the feet. So I think there's going to be multiple changes. I think obviously Ali will be in goal. I think Gomez will be right back. And I do agree that Matip and Konate will be the centre-backs. Simi left back. Hendo, Milner, and I'd probably see Jones in there. And I think Bobby, Jota, and possibly Origi up front. I think there'll be quite a few changes, to be honest. I think that'll be enough to still win the game and take it to the last game of the season.
Still a good team. This is what I'm saying. Liverpool haven't really. Our squad is so good at the mate. That team you put out, that should beat Southampton. That is still a good team. Jack, my man, your thoughts?
Yeah, Divock, we need goals. You never know. I'm just hoping whoever goes out, we go out with the notion of, as all the lads have mentioned tonight, just go out there, give it our best shot. Really, that's all you can ask for. And if we can put the shitters up Man City, and we get a couple of goals, 5-6 goals. Southampton, we've said it, all of us, everyone on everyone's channel. Southampton have been beat 9-0 this season. I'm just saying. Could it be us? You never know. Send Taki Minamino, go all out anyway, and just keep James, as Savage says, keep James Ward-Prowse off any set piece. Make him but yeah, I'm excited, mate. I'm excited going to it. And the beauty, as we said all tonight, like we're in with a shot. If we do beat Southampton, it's still all to play for.
Get your early 11, Jack. You're 11 for Southampton. What are you?
Who's fit? As the boys have said. I go with Ali in goal. I was clapping myself when he got injured. Well, not in that first half, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We'll go with Ali. Trent right back. Kostas left back. Matip. Van Dijk. Hendo in the 6. Naby. Curtis Jones. Salah. Oh no, he's got injured. Jota, Diaz, and Bobby. Yeah, but at least we've got options. Like we brought Bobby on in the finals, didn't we? And obviously Jota come on. And Klopp said in the press, and he said he's never been in this position where he can bring on that good. So whoever does play, they'll do the job, hopefully. But yeah, it's mad, mate.
Great. Savage, my man. And we'll bring Doug on.
Yeah, Klopp pretty much said himself in the press conference that it depending on Man City's result is how we'll sort the game out. But obviously, he said that there's no chance of them playing the same team because people need a rest. I think he'll take it as seriously as he can with the players he's got to put on the pitch because it's important to us, man. It's not like it's not like a shot in the dark of having a chance of winning the league. You got to treat it like we've been treating all the games, and go out there and hammer them. And I think if we kill Southampton spirits, especially if we can do it in the first half, I think sometimes we have a tendency to let it get to half time through our own faults of not putting chances away, and then giving the other team a thought of we might be able to get something here. If we pull it to bed early in that game, 3-0, 2-0 at half time, then we can start thinking about trying to get more goals in the game and stuff like that, and preserving some people's legs. The team we'll put out, I think the team I'd go is probably identical to Stubbs. I think up top, the thing is I would have started Origi, but I can't see him and Bobby starting together because they're probably both going to play central. Origi doesn't really offer anything off the left. So I think one of them two will start through the centre. I think I don't know with Diaz and Mane. I feel like one of them will play, but I don't know. Even though Mane lasted longer in that game, I feel like Diaz ran himself into the ground, so I don't know who will play up top. To be honest, I'll probably go with Mane. You know, like I think Diaz was out on his. You know what I mean? Mane slowed down, obviously, but I think that was just naturally being tired. Whereas Diaz was running himself into the ground, so I'll probably go Mane, Bobby, and Giata up front, and maybe bring Tsimikas. Maybe bring Taki off the bench in the game. Midfield, I think it will be Milner, Jones, and Hendo. Tsimikas starts left back. Centre backs, I'll probably go Matip and Ibu, to be honest, but I don't know with the Virgil thing, because obviously we know he's fine now, but the Storm might want to rest him in it. So I think Ibu and I think against Southampton as well. I know pretty much we know the threats in their team. I think we can handle them at the back with them too. You know what I mean? And I think Gomez has to start in this game. And I think him starting will help us as well, to be honest. You know what I mean? He offers a different game, bit more measured, which will, you know what I mean? That will shut their spirits down because they won't feel like they can just get in down the left early in the game. And because of that, I think we'll destroy them then. It would have been nice for Thiago to play in this game, but he played too much yesterday. And I wouldn't, if Harvey can get on the pitch at some point, that would be nice. But yeah, sentiment ain't the main thing. It's the result, nice. Man. And I want it wrapped up. I want it like the Man City game in the FA Cup. I want it wrapped up early. Yeah. Because Southampton won't start firing back like Man City. Break their spirits, they'll crumble. They're a good team. They've got a good manager, but that's the one thing they can't do. They can't keep up with teams. Once their spirit's gone, it's done for them. And then they don't have anything to play for. I don't even think their league position is going to change depending on a win or anything like that. And I don't really think they care. So, yeah, man. Honestly, even with our second team, I think we'll batter them, to be honest. I think it could be 4-0. Forget goal difference. I actually think it just could be 4-0.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Before I just quickly go to Doug, I just got to say one mad thing. Right, Salah, we haven't really got anyone who plays on that right-hand side when Mo's not available, except one man, and that's Oxlade-Chamberlain. And he's going to be fresh as a daisy. Does Ox come and play against Southampton on that right-hand side? Because you think about it, the only player who really comes in for Mo when he's not available on that right-hand side of the attack is Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah, bring him in. You know what? I forgot about him, to be fair.
Yeah,
I forgot about
Diaz and Jota all played a lot of minutes yesterday. I mean, Jota came on after half an hour. Played for extra time penalties, everything. Origi's fresh. Ox is fresh. Something to prove. Just putting it out there in the atmosphere.
It's a good shout, I think.
Yeah. Fair shout.
It's a good shout, man. He's not rubbish, man. Listen, I've got over the Ox having I've got over him having the pissed off face now. You know what it is? It's still one of our players and stuff like that. He looked happier yesterday. And yeah, to be honest, I didn't mention him just because I've seen him in his tracksuit yesterday. I had in my head that he's injured, but he's not. He actually brings a lot of speed to the team, and you can play him. You can either play him in midfield in the 10 role, or you can play him down that right side. But yeah, you are 100% right, Jamie, with that right hand side. That's actually what I was thinking about with the game yesterday. If that game showed us anything against Chelsea, it was that we don't have sufficient cover on the right hand side because there's no speed and we need it. So yeah, you're right, bro.
Let's get a Doug. Have you say, Doug, how are you, my friend?
Come on, Doug.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good. It's been a pretty good weekend, isn't it? Dev losing, us winning the FA Cup, City dropping points. Yeah, I mean, I've been listening into what you guys have been saying, and for me, if it was me, I wouldn't risk Van Dijk. I wouldn't risk. Well, obviously, Fabinho's not going to be there anyway, but I wouldn't risk Salah. To be honest, I would not risk him, and I do think it's last chance saloon for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain as well. I think it is last chance saloon if he does play on if he does play on Tuesday. But that game yesterday, my gosh! I mean, it's not just the fact that it went to penalties. It's just when Sadio Mane missed. Like of all the people to miss, and fair play to Mendy. He's probably watched all of his penalties in training this week. But I mean, obviously, I know that Steve was at the game, and I believe you've got your voice back ever so slightly.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I can hear a little bit of hoarse still there, isn't it? But,
you look shattered a bit, Steve. You look shattered.
but no, I think I the team selection on Tuesday is going to be very, very interesting. I think Ali will definitely start. I don't think there's any case of Kelleher coming in or anything like that. I think it'll be Gomez. I think Kanate, Matip, who I thought was immense yesterday when he came on after Van Dijk going off injured. And then I do think it'll be Costas because I think Andy Robertson, he has a lot of batteries in him, but I think he is just a little bit tired.
Yeah.
At this moment in time, I think it'll be Hendo. I do agree with Molnar. I'm actually going to throw a bit of a spanner in the works. I think Elliott might start this game.
Yeah.
I've got a feeling he might start this
Nice
game.
to see him play, man.
Yeah, I do as well. And then up front, I mean, I will say this now: Jota on the right hand side does not work for me.
Yeah,
Do not play him on the right hand side.
Yeah.
So if Jota does play, then obviously play him down the middle or play him down the left. I mean, it could be anything, couldn't it? I mean, you've got Bobby, you've got Jota. I mean, Ox is probably the last chance saloon, and probably Saki's probably last game as well. And it's madness when we say that Takumi Minamino actually was the top scorer in the League Cup and the FA Cup and didn't play either finals.
Madness.
Crazy.
Love
But
him.
them teams that everyone's picking, they're still good teams, and we do need
Yeah.
some fresh picks. And I can definitely see your Elliott's maybe playing, your Oxy's playing, your Origi's playing, because they are fresh and they can come in. And this Southampton team are on their arse a little bit at the moment, and let's face it, they've packed in the season. They can, but I think they're mathematically safe now as well. So
yeah, they are.
Yeah, so they got nothing to play for, which is good for us. And I want to say one thing about Alisson Becker. Before we finish this all up, because
Best goalkeeper in the world. Sorry.
I'll get you guys for 2.5 hours. So I want to finish up now, and I appreciate the love, guys, you coming off with this on as well and sticking around. Alisson Becker, are we getting into a Peter Schmeichel situation with Alisson Becker where attackers are now fearing him? He's one-on-one goalkeeping. He's one-on-one. There is not a better keeper in the world. I don't care what people's names you come up with, your All Blacks and all this sort of stuff and all that. There's not a better one-on-one goalkeeper in world football than Alisson. It comes to a time now where players do get in one-on-one with Liverpool because of the way we play. But I'm 70% sure Alisson's going to save it.
Similar with Van Dijk, would you say, Jay? As well?
Similar impacts.
How do you approach?
Similar impacts in different positions. He's got a fear
Mm.
factor. If you're a striker now, you have got a bit of a fear factor about Alisson. And it's almost becoming, you have to almost score the perfect goal or a screamer where he can't actually save it. It's almost becoming impossible. So I'll just go around the room with you at the moment. I just want, yes or no, Alisson Becker the best goal. Take your bias out of it as well because Liverpool player. But put your serious cap on. Is Alisson Becker at this moment in time the best goalkeeper in the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Rods?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, see there, Alisson, number 1.
I thought we would have said Pickford, but fuck him.
Right, so City fans are crying a little bit about Ederson. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that today? Jack, you did watch the game. Why are City fans going at Ederson today?
Kept running at the goal.
Yeah, he's spring off like a lion, like a bloody rabbit in the headlights, isn't he?
I've said it for a while now. Ederson is very good with the ball at his feet, but his positioning in goal is pants.
He's a shit shot stopper.
He's not a very good goalkeeper. He's just that City have 90% of the ball against every team they face, so he's never tested enough.
Yeah, he's only good with the ball at his feet because he was a striker.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's his long range passing and that, but he's not like, I know the stats were so different. That's because of Man City's defending. He's not the second best goalkeeper in the league or not. I think Pope's better than Ederson. I'm not even taking the honestly.
Pope's a great goalkeeper.
Yeah, Pope's good. Nick Pope's good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Did any of you guys see because obviously Klopp done press conference for all the different TV channels yesterday. Did anyone see the one when he was talking about Mane's penalty?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. He said said that, like, obviously Mane missed a penalty, and then he went, he said, I'll have to take 50% for that. And I was like, what the hell is he talking about? And he said, well, he said before Mane took the penalty, I told him, are you sure you want to take one? Because he knows where you're gonna go. You play against him all the time. And he said, Mane said, yeah, I'll take it. And then Klopp said, yeah, go the opposite way to where you normally go them. And then he did, and Mendy saved it.
Mm.
And then Klopp was like, yeah, that's the last time Mane should ever listen to me. I was
I love that sort of management, though, don't you?
Yeah.
because I was wondering why Mane was laughing when he walked off. Because he got back and he was laughing. And I was like, oh, okay, some inside joke going on there, man.
Right, guys. Thank you for everyone coming in. So we're going to end it here. But before we end it there, I want you guys to shout out where people can find you. If you're not on YouTube, Twitter, whatever, Edward, where can everyone find you?
Okay, my Twitter handle's EMJP1981.
Beautiful. Thanks for coming in today, Edward. As always, my man. Rods, my man, where can these beautiful people find you at?
You can find me on YouTube, Rods LFT TV, and you can find me on YouTube. So look out for me because I always put out some watch along shows and previews and stuff. Yeah.
So, guys, you know where to go for the Rods, my man. Thanks for coming in today, Rods, as always.
No problem, mate. No problem. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Okay.
Savage, my man.
Yeah, man. Savage Reactions, YouTube. Hugo Online, YouTube. Yeah, man. Find me there, bro. Daily videos. Come on.
Thanks once again, Savage, coming on, my man.
No problem, brother.
Mr. Chatmac.
Thank you for having me on, mate. It's great to speak to the lads. Just Jack Mac LFC and all socials, everyone. And come on, the Reds. Come on, the Villa. Go on.
Jack, make sure you sub to Jack as well, guys.
You're
close to 5K, ain't you, Jack?
Yeah, no, it's mad. I didn't expect one person to subscribe back in the day, but yeah.
Keep it up. My good man, Stat Man. Where can everyone find you, fella?
Yeah, cheers for letting me come on. As always a pleasure. Statman Stubbs Football Channel on YouTube or on Twitter, Stephen Stubbs 985. You can find me there.
Beautiful. Thanks for coming on again, my man. Appreciate it.
No worries.
My friend, where can everyone find you, my man?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. If you want to hear more dulcet Scottish tones, then you can find me on the YouTube on the Dugout Football Channel. Or even bad jokes there. I do tell bad jokes as well. Twitter handle is right there. Enrod_92, 1992, I should say. Instagram is Douglas.Horn and Facebook is Douglas James Horn.
Beautiful. Thank you very much for coming in, Doug, as always, my man.
Pleasure.
Do appreciate it. So, guys, that's everyone. Go and subscribe to everyone there, guys. These are great people. Call my friends as well. And I love everyone. Yeah.
Jay, how much are you behind? Okay, now is it 950 or something?
I'm on 951. 951. So if we're down to 49 subs away from 1K.
All right, you're watching this live stream after we go off live. Like the damn video and subscribe, man. Don't be bums, man. It's free, bro.
Yes.
Yeah. It's free,
Like
man. If you pay for your Wi-Fi, you might as well pay.
Don't make the boys have to come and look for you. Don't make the boys have to come and look for you. Like the video, man. Like the video.
I will send Rod's around to everyone's house and he do it as well.
Yeah, man.
So guys, Big up to
It's
everyone.
all
in the
love
chat.
out there.
Big up
Peace
to
out,
everyone in
boys.
the chat. Peace out to
Hey, guys.
Peace out,
everybody.
man.
Much love to everybody. And we'll see you on Tuesday, guys.
Let's go, man.
We'll be back Tuesday for another post-match call-in show. See you then, guys. Much love. You'll
Boys.
never walk alone.